Hailing frequencies are finally open. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Shielded Tomorrow, our Star Trek RPG show here at Geek and Sundry. Sorry for the delay there. We were having some sound issues, but everything is up and going, and the mics have been reinstated into full power mode, and we're ready to run our game tonight. So let's go ahead and launch into announcements. Our first major announcement is we are down a Sam and a Gina tonight, but that's... okay.
Panic!
Oh, God. Okay.
I missed them already.
I'm gonna get through this. I'm just gonna get through this. So Gina will be back next week, and we might be seeing if Sam can Skype in next week. I think is what Sam being the ever-determined person. Also, there's about a 99.99999% chance that Sam is in chat right now. Hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
How's it going? So
I feel like I should break a pencil in their honor.
You probably should.
We should all do it. Do we?
Honorary.
Wait. Now, Sam has their own dedicated box of pencils.
That's right.
Look, not all of us are sponsored.
I don't know. At least Xander isn't here, because if he was here, that would just make things worse.
Hey!
Good thing we had technical difficulties.
So everyone, hi Sam, and we'll miss you.
We miss you.
And welcome Xander, who both him and Bonnie are literally running into the city limits at the last possibility. Xander, didn't you just got off a plane and came straight here, didn't you?
I did.
Welcome.
In his Starfleet uniform in the airport.
Yeah, in the airport. I outranked everyone on that plane.
Excellent. Oh my goodness.
And
This is the captain
Excuse me.
speaking.
and you can just look at my Twitter to see what I went through.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Did
Oh
you get
man.
stopped at the airport?
No,
so
I didn't.
glad you're
It
alive.
looks.
A little
Odyssey.
bit, yeah.
Too.
They're used to it. LA,
I
they're
was
used
sleep
to
deprived, but I
it.
think work stage is
Texas.
extremely lucid right now, so I think she's gonna. She knows what's going on.
You got this.
So let's go ahead and get into our announcements tonight, so we can be merciful to those who are exhausted. So first up, the Star Trek play along. We are still trying to lock down that day. Turns out it's pretty tough to lock down 6 people who are all extremely busy all the time. But the plan is we have decided moving forward, because we're getting a little more structured with when we can pull it off. We are going to try to do a play along once a month if we can swing it. If we can get at least 3 of us, then we're going to find a weekend once a month to play Star Trek Online with you guys. So that would be rad. But we will get you. It's realistically, we were talking October. I even went into STO and went into our fleet chat and told everyone, don't worry, October is going to be. It's going to probably be November. But it could have possibly have been this weekend, but then it was TwitchCon, which was awesome. And then I was also at a wedding.
Yeah.
I saw 2 people get married, and it was lovely. Special shout out to Matt and Marisha.
Oh.
You guys, they rolled initiative
They
my
did.
God.
when they did their wedding vows. That's
a-
all I'm going to
Who
say.
won?
That's all I'm Marisha.
Of course.
I mean,
Marisha
duh.
won.
That
Beat
is
him with a
adorable.
12. Matt rolled low, just saying.
That's amazing.
So let's see. So that's going to be, so the date for the play along will be coming up soon. Also, as always, a special thanks to Anovos. I don't know if you guys saw, but the Star Trek Discovery uniforms have gone up. I love the Discovery uniforms. Whatever you might, I know Trekkies across the spectrum have their passionate opinions about Star Trek and what they like about Star Trek and whatever. You can say whatever you want about Discovery, but their uniforms are friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
I need a
so
cadet
sweet.
Tilly.
I love those.
Big time.
I want
the disco T-shirt.
Same.
They just announced the captain's uniform. I want the medical uniform. Although I already got the command
just like-
uniform. But
It's already dirty.
Yeah,
It's just
I know.
white.
it's true. It's just white.
Blood splatters.
It just looks so cool. I love it. We got to see it at Star Trek Las Vegas up close. It was so
Yeah.
rad. Okay, Hector will be back next week. Well, these are my old show notes, so I guess I was prophetic in predicting that. Welcome back,
That's gonna be
Hector.
good. That's gonna be
Welcome
fun.
back. We
gonna be
missed
fun.
you.
I'm gonna
Can't wait to have Hector back. It's gonna be good.
Cool.
I
Real
hope your
quick.
notes are like, say mean things about Hector because he's not here.
Yeah, something about Hector. Blah blah blah. Real quick, I think I have to confer with Sax off screen if he's here. We're having the giveaway. That's set up for tonight? Yes, it is. We got giveaway codes tonight, so stay active in chat. Also, we not this week, but next week we are going to be having giveaway codes for console players. So console captains, you're going to get access to giveaway codes as well. And that's rad because the Cryptic team, the Perfect World folks, they contacted me and let me know that the giveaway packs that they're going to start giving us are worth $80.
Wow.
So these are seriously,
Dang.
Buddy.
it's time to juice up. They had a sale today too on Tier 5 ships, which is pretty cool.
That's like a
'cause-
Greyhound ticket, y'all.
I know.
It's
So
great.
Breakdown for 4
yeah,
hours.
that's really it for the announcements tonight. Unless anybody has anything else they want to chime in. Oh, we got 2. Okay, let's make that quick. Let's fire away.
Okay, this Thursday is the premiere of Sagas of Sundry Madness.
Oh my goodness.
Yay.
Okay. At the wedding, Ivan showed me the intro.
Yes, yeah.
It is so fucking metal.
It's so
I-
cool, and it's
I
so
was-
90s.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
It's
You've seen it?
I did.
It is seriously. It is. I was disturbed. It was seriously.
We're supposed to share everything.
You were gone.
Man. I'm just saying. Madness.
I guess
So, for those of you who don't know, Madness is based on Lovecraftian horror. Is that correct?
This one is, yeah.
Yeah.
We're still using the dread system, so it's still not Jenga, but a wooden block tower that you
Right.
pull from.
Just in time, dude. With Madness and Stranger Things 2 coming out, this is gonna be like the best damn Halloween.
Right?
Yeah.
So
I'm just gonna stay
spooky.
indoors and eat candy corn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You could
that's
pick
rad.
better candy.
I can't wait. Yeah, I didn't even recognize you or Marisha.
Oh, yeah,
I didn't even
really?
recognize you guys. I
Oh,
didn't know
fun.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, it's amazing.
it looks great. Eliza, what do you have to say?
Oh, well, this weekend is LA Comic Con.
It is.
Sure,
This weekend is LA Comic Con. I'm gonna be out there.
yeah, it feels like many or all of us will be there at some point.
I'll sneak in.
Maybe we should do a meetup.
I think so. Also,
That would be
I
fantastic.
have some specific things.
Yes.
I have this lovely, sad conflict where my baby, the improvised generation, is performing at Nerdfest, yay, at 1:45 Saturday at Comic Con, at the same time that I'll be on a panel.
Oh, no.
Wait,
Congrats on the
Gates
panel.
McFadden isn't on that panel, is she?
What's
Yeah,
that?
right?
Gates
Who?
McFadden is on
No,
that.
no.
Not this time.
This is the Geek Girl Authority panel, and
yeah.
it's called Women Doing Cool. Can I curse on this channel?
Fuck no.
Shit.
Don't you ever.
Shit.
fucking
I was gonna
curse
say
on
women doing cool shit, but damn it, I can't say that.
Watch your
Don't
damn
say it, don't
language,
say it.
guys.
What the fuck else did you say?
yes.
What other
So, yeah.
fucking word could you? I don't know.
So the panel, technically, you could come to like the first half of the panel from 1 to 1:30, and then book it over to see the improvised generation at 1:45. Sadly, I wish I could be there doing the show, but I'm going to be on a panel, so it's like this weird Sophie's Choice of things that I would
What are you
love
gonna
to
do?
both be
Yep.
doing. And then we have some other like improv shows. One at 11:15 a.m., which is a preview of Glam, which is our glow-inspired
Oh,
wrestling
I've seen
show.
that.
Can't wait for
11:15
that.
a.m.
Is
and
that on
then
Saturday as well?
That's on Saturday.
I'm, at Nerdfest? I'm performing right
Nerdfest.
before you.
Yes. All right. Awesome.
So in
awesome.
other words,
Yeah.
come
Just
to
come
LA
on, come
Comic
LA
Con.
Comic-Con,
LA
y'all.
Comic Con, and then at 2:30ish, another show called Swords and Sorcery, which is the bearded men's show, and
Oh,
they
they're so good.
are Geek and Sundry family.
Yes, they are,
They're
and they are
performing
awesome.
Swords and Sorcery
Okay.
at Nerdfest. So
Awesome.
just come.
Just
Come to
look
LA
at my soul.
Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Lots
If
of
we
wonderful.
do a meetup, we will definitely post information about that online. But it would be rad if the Sally Ride can meet you guys who all out at LA
That would
Comic-Con.
be amazing.
Yeah.
A real quick announcement. I have an announcement.
Yeah.
I ate a piece of chocolate off the floor, so I'm ready to go.
Let's do this.
It's gonna be one of those
I
nights.
saw it happen.
I'm
It was
gonna
glorious.
I'm gonna give this a beat. Sam, if you're in chat, are you excited?
Oh, can we do the pencil? I want to.
I'm just
I
gonna
feel like we
wait
should
until
all
they
do it
all
in,
caps
do it
this.
in their honor.
I felt it.
You felt that?
I felt them say.
Yes,
They're
I feel it
excited.
too.
I felt
I
it.
wasn't sure if
I
it was
felt it.
coffee, but I definitely feel like
I felt
they
a
said-
wave of excitement.
I felt all caps coming on. Okay, cool. All right.
Maybe I shouldn't. I shouldn't.
Hold off. You don't have the ammunition that Sam does with pencils.
true.
All right. In that case, let's go ahead and jump into tonight's episodes of Shield of Tomorrow. Welcome back. All right, folks. We're gonna. It's okay. You need to hit up Nerd Strong if you want to break that face. It's not gonna work. Yeah, you got to get on the Sam workout.
Yeah.
Which is lots of push-ups, puppy cuddles, and sweets, I believe. is what it's-
Pancakes.
yeah,
I got
that's
2
the
of
Sam
those.
workout. Yeah.
Puppy cuddles and sweets.
Yep.
Push-ups, not so much.
All right, so let's jump into a recap. So last week, our last game session. Where'd my I just shuffled my papers like a news anchor and lost my notes. There they are. All right. So last week, the Sally Ride, traveling at high warp through the safety corridor to the Shackleton Expanse. You guys are cutting right through Klingon space. You have been granted this reprieve through Klingon space by the Klingon Empire, which, even though it has severed contact and it's severed diplomatic relations with the United Federation of Planets, the Klingon Empire is still upholding some of its agreements with the United Federation of Planets. This one is particularly special to the Klingons and the Federation because it is a corridor that takes you directly to the Shackleton Expanse has what's the name of the station?
What?
The name of the space station you guys are going to. If I remember correctly? Is it Mirinda?
Narendra?
Narendra Station. I was going to say Miranda, but I knew that was wrong. Narendra Station is a little bit. It's kind of a monument to the friendship between the Klingon Empire and the Federation.
And how do you spell that again?
Narendra is N-E. I don't remember.
I have it. Norendra.
I was way
Thank you.
off.
I thought it was N-A-R. Oops.
Or maybe, well, that's how I wrote it.
No, you're probably right.
I have my adventure notes, but not my campaign notes with me tonight. So Narendra Station is named after. It's linked to the battle where the Federation came to the defense of the Klingons, in which the Enterprise C was lost when Romulans had launched a surprise attack against a Narendra colony. And in honor of that, the Klingons were gracious enough to allow the Federation a station on this side of the Klingon Empire's territory in order to continue exploring the Shackleton Expanse, which is a great swath of unexplored space here in the Milky Way. It is the size of the Shackleton Expanse. I would say it's about a quarter the size of the entire Klingon Empire. It's very large. There's a lot of unexplored space out there waiting to be found. With the tensions and the rising animosity between the Dominion and the Federation, you guys, of course, were sent out here because one Norval Nash, Admiral Norval Nash, Admiral Nash decided to essentially strategically move the USS Sally Ride. Well done. That's for you, Sam. Admiral Nash decided to move the USS Sally Ride out of the theater and into the Shackleton Expanse to move you all further away from the possibility of being shifted to the front lines should conflict break out, which he is completely convinced it will. And that is what has led you into deep space. Now, you've received a distress call, if you remember correctly, on your way through Klingon space. This would have been sort of out of your purview. You would not have had any. You wouldn't have had any authority to go across, leaving the safety of the corridor, crossing out of the corridor to this planet to respond to this distress call, except that mixed in with the Klingon distress call was in fact a Federation signal as well. Ship records indicated that there was, in fact, a science and engineering team stationed on a remote Klingon colony out here that was trying to help this colony essentially establish itself on what is, I believe, a Class K planet. So this planet is very difficult to inhabit. It's about a step removed from being habitable. Right now, the temperatures on this planet run somewhere about negative 200 degrees Celsius on the surface. It's death if you step outside without an environmental suit. However, the Klingons have established a colony, and what you discovered is with the help of the Federation, they've actually managed to set up a pretty functional and prosperous, or at least it was before, colony that was going to eventually terraform this Class K planet into a Class M planet. Takes a few years to pull off, but they were in the process of doing that. And then apparently contact was lost with this colony, mostly because of the severance of the Kittimer Accords. The Klingon Empire has effectively shut all communication off with the Federation unless they feel otherwise. You have to go through the proper channels, essentially, to communicate. So it came as a bit of a shock to discover there was a Federation science engineering team out here helping with the colonization efforts. You sent a shuttlecraft in to investigate the situation.
Or Orion shuttle.
An Orion shuttle in. Upon arriving, you found a pretty tense situation. A colony that was on the brink of losing all power. A Federation engineering team with a few of their scientists, all completely exhausted, a dead doctor who is in command of the science team, a strange illness spreading throughout the colony, and a complete loss of contact with the station about, 10 kilometers away
10
that
kilometers.
was actually responsible for changing the atmosphere of the planet, the terraforming station. Since that station has gone offline, the planet's atmosphere has shifted and the temperature has once again begun to drop dangerously. This has been affecting power levels throughout the colony, as once again you guys have moved about 20 steps back in the attempt to create a habitat on this planet. Canjus 2 is the name of the colony. You guys ran into Lieutenant Tristan Paylor, who is a frazzled counselor who is here to help manage personnel and is now the command officer, being the highest ranking officer on this little expedition, and has been keeping this place together with duct tape.
And wishes.
And friendship. To make matters worse, there is a Klingon agitator here on the station that has been raising a lot of hell with the locals, saying that the Federation is just trying to kill them all off, that the Klingon Empire has abandoned them because of their association with the Federation. He's raising all kinds of a fuss.
Was that Ajak? Or was
Ajak.
that
Jacques, yes, the Klingon agitator.
Ajak?
Now, Jacques has revealed himself to be somewhat reasonable. You were able to talk him down. This isn't the first time you've talked him down, but also the shit that he's saying is very unreasonable. So he's coming off a bit unpredictable, and that's especially apparent in that I believe Gina, who was trying to get a read on him, discovered some pretty interesting
Sam.
conflict. Was it Sam?
Sam.
Oh,
Gina,
Sam, that's
Gina's
right.
on the ship. Yeah.
That's right. Gina's back up on the Sally Ride. So it was Sam. Sam was getting an interesting read on him. He's kind of a contradictory figure. He doesn't seem to be as committed to the cause of necessarily getting out of here alive as much as he is getting everybody out of here. If that makes any sense. He's not as interested in beating the hell out of the Federation. He wants to get off world, but he's not doing it from a place of fear. So he's kind of an interesting figure. I'm not sure what his motivations are, but he has been stirring up trouble. This has been compounded by the fact that this disease, which you have all been learning about, which has caused a solidification inside the bloodstream of its victims, in the last episode where we left off, during your research and playing with the dead bacteria to get more of a reaction, to also do some more, I think you were running diagnostic tests, and you were actually performing autopsies on the body. Is that correct? On bodies, or rather, I should say, blood samples from the bodies.
We did take blood samples.
Yeah, and Throlo was specifically running tests. You guys lowered the temperature of the room.
We did.
As part of a test, wasn't that correct?
Well, essentially, because in general that should have slowed down the rate of infection,
Right.
or like activity in bacterial.
So you were experimenting with the fact that you were trying to see if changing the environment would actually affect the slowdown in the bacteria itself that was causing this disease, which caused a lot of corpses in the storage locker to suddenly sit up. That's where we left you guys off. Where we left off on the Sally Ride was there had been no word from the team in over well past I think it's been 16 hours. You guys have not heard at all from the away team. And
It's been 16 hours?
Travel time, arrival, and everything that's happened, I would say yes. It's been about
Nice.
16
We took a
hours.
nap on the shuttle. Took a nap.
While you guys have been said station keeping, it's been too long since the away team has checked in. There has been no reply. You made an attempt to send out to amplify the station's distress call. That went disastrously wrong. You basically
That
turned the
was
USS
Gina.
You basically turned the Sally Ride into a big megaphone shouting, "We're here, we're here, we're here." And you also made the distress call somewhat intelligible, but for the most part, you've just basically signaled to the entire sector that there's a Federation starship in the travel corridor right now at station's keeping.
Fantastic.
You believe you detected what was a scout-class vessel that was approaching the USS Sally Ride. Martinez sent out a message, got no reply, and decided to lower the shields and set a course for Canjus 2.
Flight casual.
Yeah, essentially. Don't provoke anything, and head straight for the away team in the Sally Ride. So you guys left the safety of the travel corridor and are now headed straight to Canjus 2
Yeah.
at Warp 3. You'll be arriving within the next half hour. And that is where we pick up. We're going to start with our shuttle crew, who, when we left you guys off, were traveling out to the environmental station to make contact with those who you've been out of contact with for how long now has it been?
It's been
A week, I believe, right? Or is it a month?
No, longer than that. A month total.
It's a month, that's what it was. So for 1 month, you haven't heard anything from the research station. It was a perilous flight getting out here, especially from the wind shears. But it was a sudden loss of power, which for the moment you actually don't have a cause for. But the power suddenly fluctuated and dropped. You were able to react fast enough to angle the ship up so you didn't nosedive into the blocks of ice waiting for you down below.
You're welcome.
You all plummeted from the sky and collided with the ground. You did not cause a hull breach. The shuttle is intact, but it is lodged in a chunk of ice. And
there's no power now, right?
And there's no power now, and the hull has already gotten frigid. It is getting cold in here quick. And that is where we're going to pick up. You guys are still a bit rattled from the concussive shock of smashing into the planet's surface.
Right.
And looking outside, you cannot see anything. It is just white fog blowing past the windows and ice that is frozen up on the window itself of the cockpit from the splash effect when you guys hit the ice. That's where we begin.
Are you okay?
It's time to suit up.
Yes. Are you all right though? Like,
I think so. I'm gonna use my medical tricorder to try to run a scan
Sure.
on both of us.
Okay,
me
that's-
too, because I have no idea.
Yeah.
I could be broken.
Thurlow approves.
Do me too.
Quick
Do me
jam
too.
question.
Yeah.
At the end of last session, we had 1 momentum, but this might be
Oh.
considered the same scene we were in. I don't know.
I'm going to
I'll
let
see.
you have the momentum. I'll let you start with one. Yeah.
Nice.
Good looking out, Doc. Is there an alarm going off in the shuttle right now?
There was an alarm saying warning crash detected.
But there's no longer an alarm.
We have no power.
Power has
yeah.
failed on the shuttle.
And it's getting cold. So okay, I'm putting I guess while he's scanning me, I'm gonna be putting on my environmental suit on. 'cause
Okay.
I'm already cold.
There are 3 environmental suits in here. They're all fully functional, and as you guys are putting them on, you're running the scan. Everybody seems okay.
Okay.
I'll just go ahead and give it to you.
Cool.
You quickly scan with the tricorder. There doesn't seem to be any discrepancies. If you're scanning for injury, if you want to scan for anything further, let me know and we'll do a roll. But just a quick surface scan,
it's
everything seems
I mean, I feel okay.
Yeah.
As you're putting on this environmental suit, your hands are already starting to shake.
Oh.
And you can see your breath starting to form in the air as you're putting it on. The temperature has already dropped below 30 inside the shuttlecraft. And it's only been about 3 minutes as you're scrambling to put on the environmental suits.
Okay.
As you're putting on the suits on, you get the helmet. These are not... Oh, actually, you know what? If you want, we can say that these are Starfleet issued environmental suits, because I have a feeling Rue would have them loaded
Yeah.
up.
We would have
packed
been
them.
equipped.
Well,
Yeah.
not only that, but they were prepared by my team on the station as well.
Oh right.
But this is the Orion shuttle, is it not?
yes.
You flew the Orion shuttle out
Yes.
here.
Yeah.
So you guys, okay. So and as you suit up into the environmental suit, the moment the helmets come on, you feel the stabilization of the temperature immediately. It has that slight burning effect when you step out of the frigid cold and into a
Oh.
warm atmosphere. And so
Tingly.
as you adjust to it, and a display pops up on a screen in front of you, you see the temperature inside the shuttlecraft has just dropped below 0 and is falling rapidly.
Okay. I'm going to establish communications with the suits.
Okay.
Okay.
Zip. You
And
guys
so-
are linked together. You can hear his voice in your
Yes,
helmet.
Lieutenant.
I'm so sorry. I don't even think I got your full name.
Oh, Lark Sage. Is you can just call me Lark. It's fine. Did you possibly see how far we were from the tower before we crashed? I can't see anything.
It seemed like we were relatively close. I mean, it was only 10 kilometers away, and we flew quite a distance. That was some fancy flying.
Thank you. Do you think we could walk? How do we get out? I don't even know how we're gonna get out of here.
I think we might have to phaser our way out. We can probably open up the doors and just be exposed to the atmosphere, but if we're caught underneath any kind of ice sheets or anything like that, we might be able to melt our way through.
I was thinking that too, but we have to be careful. If we hurt the shuttle, we might not have a way back.
Is there any way that you can restore power to the shuttle?
I don't even know why we lost power to begin with.
Can you check that out?
I can do that really quick. Look at Eric. Can I?
Yes. Yes, you can.
I've seen
yes.
you dip your hands into some controls before.
Yes. Sage
And
has been
magic.
jamming her
Yeah.
hands into the panels and fixing.
Well, I'm
it
still
all.
just so you know, a lot of the reason of why I'm shaking is not because I was cold, but because I'm in a dark space encased in ice, and it's like I'm slightly getting a little claustrophobic and
Not
uncomfortable.
only encased in ice in this dark space. I mean, like I said, these Ryan shuttles are not very big. They're not built for comfort necessarily.
Yeah.
And you're in that state where, without any power, it sounds like you're moving around inside of a closet. So you can hear your voice very close to your ears as you're moving through the cockpit area. Moving up to the seats, you see just the black screen where there's no panel lights on at all.
Can I look inside and see if I can figure out anything?
Sure. Popping up.
I mean, I know
open
the
that panel.
frost was one cause.
You saw some of the frost. You don't know if that's necessarily indicative. I mean, you did see that on the side inside the panel at the station,
With the
and
door.
you assumed that was what was causing it. Go ahead and make a. I'm going to say this is going to be. So right now you're trying to ascertain what is wrong, correct?
Yes, I'm trying to see if there's anything I can do to get either power back up
So then
or
make a reason plus engineering roll.
Okay. And I'm assuming
I will
can
let you use your shuttlecraft specialty.
Yay.
You can do it.
The difficulty is 3.
Is mind? Okay. Because we're gonna need that. How are we gonna get off the planet? All right. Woo! Woo! 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you can bank momentum or spend it.
Well, let's see what you give me first.
There is no obvious reason. From looking at this, there doesn't look like there's a technical malfunction whatsoever. Power should be working. It looks like the computer simply shut off. It almost seems like it has sort of the symptoms of what would happen if you had flown through an EMP. It's just not working anymore.
Okay.
It's like it had a hiccup and died. There's no hardware deficiency taking place right now.
Okay.
You're seeing some signs of what happens when there's a spike in power, but there's nothing obvious. Like, there doesn't seem to be any physical damage done to the wires. The frost that you're seeing inside isn't indicative of any particular. It
Okay.
should not have affected the system.
Commander, I have no idea why we lost power. It doesn't look like there's anything technically wrong with the equipment. It could have been something environmental, could have been something, a power surge that we don't know. Maybe if we look inside the tower where the rest of the team is, maybe they'll have something in there that'll explain it. Maybe they've been dealing with this already and might have some kind of answer. But from what I'm seeing, I don't have one.
It could be the same reason that the Environmental Control Center lost power as well.
Well, let's just hope they figured out something, because if they've had no power for a month, that's not a good thing.
All right. Can you get this door open?
Because I'm strong. No.
I mean, mechanically.
Yeah, mechanically. I was like, yes, let me fill my inner Rue and
Yeah.
We should have advertised, be like, tune in tonight for Shield of Tomorrow. We're just gonna watch the Library Bards roleplay. That's all we're gonna do tonight. We're just gonna watch.
we're like bringing like our life into it. Be like,
No,
didn't take the trash out.
okay?
Sorry, yeah.
Okay, I mean, I can try. I mean, what you were thinking about lasering, that's the first thought I thought of too, just trying to melt the ice and getting it open, but
Is there ice in the control panel?
no, there's ice encasing us outside, yeah. So no matter what, we have to melt it.
Sage,
around
there
us.
was frost inside the wiring, though.
That's right. There is frost inside the wiring. I just remembered.
I'm going to take a look at that frost.
Okay.
I'm going to use the tool that Dr. Shishiros had to check for the disease on the
virus?
frost.
Okay, so make a reason plus science roll.
Can do.
I wouldn't have thought of that.
1 success.
Well, hold on one sec. What focuses do you have?
Focuses, I have psychology, psychiatry, linguistics, Klingon anthropology, and emergency medicine.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. All right, so well, the difficulty is gonna be 2. So if you want to spend,
Ding.
yeah, if you want to go ahead and spend
Yeah.
Momentum to reroll,
I think-
yeah?
to do a reroll,
Yeah.
yeah.
That might be like a determination thing.
Actually, that's a determination.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm
Can I
sorry.
spend
That's
a
correct.
momentum
Which you
and get an
can't.
extra die?
What's that?
Can I spend a momentum to get an extra die?
So the way it normally works is before you roll, I give you the difficulty, and then after the roll is when we can determine if you're going to burn determination for rerolls. If you're going to add extra die or anything, you have to do that before the roll.
I was
Technically-
to know the
I got
difficulty
You
excited.
before
technically
make that
didn't give him the
decision.
difficulty. Before
That's
you
true. I got excited.
Wait,
The
Instead of-
lawyers
yeah.
on this side are
That's-
pointing out.
Yeah.
That is very true.
We're
That's
like,
largely because I didn't get a chance to.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Xander might have jumped the gun on that.
I did. I was just so excited.
That's okay. So why don't we do this? If you want,
Fight for it. I'm just kidding.
if you want, I'll let you.
I can
I'll-
assist.
Tell you what, I'll let you burn that momentum. What's up?
I might have a talent that does testing a theory. It's if I've done a science or engineering roll of something similar, I can add a d20 to the roll. Since I've tested for this before.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let you do that.
Yeah.
Does that mean we can keep our momentum?
Yes. Go ahead and make the die roll then. This will
Okay.
be that
Yeah.
extra d20 that you haven't rolled.
So do I roll
job.
now?
Yeah.
you definitely roll now.
Just the-
difficulty
You've got
of-
one success. You need one more.
Okay. Here we go. Yeah.
All right. Whew. We found our
Testing
way
my
back.
theory.
Everybody.
Illegal.
Hold on.
All right.
Science.
Okay, so scanning this frost, you're not detecting any familiar signs of the virus. There doesn't seem to be any trace elements of the bacteria that you spotted in your previous scans. However, the tricorder is telling you contradictory readings about the frost. For example, this frost apparently appeared before the crash had happened. However, the environmental controls should have made it impossible for frost to actually form inside the shuttlecraft.
Can't be colder than space.
And there it is. It's inside the shuttlecraft, and it's only like a small patch, but it's very clearly small frost crystals that have grown off the side of the wiring.
Elsa.
Elsa.
Yeah.
So I'll explain that.
That is strange.
Yeah.
But the tricorder isn't giving you any more information about that. It's just detecting that this frost has been here for longer since the shuttle has been in operation. In other words, since you flew out of the hangar, this frost has been here for at least that long.
Okay. So, Lark, it seems like this frost has been on the wiring for longer than our journey. It could have been what affected the power. Do we want to attempt to do like a very, very low pulse with a phaser to try to melt this frost and see if it makes a difference?
We'd have to aim it at very precisely so we wouldn't damage any of the electrical equipment, or else we're going to be stranded out here with no way of getting back.
I call that it. Do you want to do it?
I have to shoot it.
So,
I mean, technically, I would be the one. Actually, I would want to shoot it because you don't know
where
what
to
not
aim.
to hit.
Yeah.
now you have a medical kit?
I do.
Okay, so it would probably be, I'm going to give this to you.
A warmer?
It would probably be better to use like a laser scalpel,
Oh.
because using
Yeah.
a phaser at
Oh my
point blank
goodness,
for a
I'm gonna get
precision
the whole
shot to melt
scalpel.
ice is going to destroy the computer system.
Right, right.
And yeah.
Well,
so
I don't know that.
That's why the
I
GM
almost
is coming to the
feel-
rescue, because
Yeah.
this is something your character would totally know.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, and Lieutenant, this is the same frost that I saw on the panel of the door back at your base.
And
where-
you were able to restore power to the door.
Well, I just went around it.
Can you go around it in here?
Maybe I can.
Well, let's try melting it first.
Okay.
And see if that will up the chances.
Okay. Good idea.
So
Scalpel?
I have this laser
I
scalpel.
just want to do this.
Go
wanna
ahead.
do it?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just like, oh, I guess you would.
No.
You've actually held a scalpel before.
Well, you've never.
Am I holding
okay.
it backwards? No, I failed. I flunked medicine.
Wow. But this is engineering. Just think of it like wires, like what it is. It's not a,
I
it's
know,
not a body.
I know, but I'm
Pretend
holding a
it's
scalpel. Dr.
bunch
Throw is
of
gonna be
wires
so
inside
excited.
the console on a
I
shuttle.
tell
Yeah,
her.
like
what it is.
Okay.
Just get close to it.
Holding a scalpel.
I'm gonna bubble over your head, being like, "You can do it."
Yeah, you can do it. You don't have to cut
It's-
anything. We're just trying to warm
This
it up.
isn't rocket surgery,
That's a
but it
gift.
is. It's rocket surgery.
Surgery.
Oh my gosh.
This is a control plus engineering roll.
Oh, I'm actually doing it. I need to roll. I'm like, what am I cutting?
We'll get you a set of operations.
I
Yeah.
think I'm a little delirious. What is it? Control
Control plus
engineering.
engineering.
Oh,
Do
okay.
you want to spend?
How
What's
much?
the
What's the difficulty?
Well, considering what you're trying to do is pretty precise. I'm going to set it at 3 as well. I'm also
right.
going to spend 2 threat because it makes sense to raise the complication range by 2 on this.
Are we cool with
Can my
now-
focus and small craft also be used here?
What's that?
Can my Focus in small craft.
I'm going to say your familiarity with shuttles.
You know Zaz real well.
Well, this is the closest I could get to him.
Why is Sage sniffing the console?
It's so weird.
What's going
Melt
on?
his cold, cold heart.
I don't know. This is weird. It's getting
All right.
too real.
So 18 or higher is a complication.
Okay.
We
But- and the
unanimously
difficulty is
bought you
3.
the extra die.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, guys. That's my crew. All right.
All right. Make
Here we
that
go.
roll.
All right. Oh! 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Wow.
I got 2 crits and,
Okay.
and almost 3 crits. I was one away from 3 critical hits.
Maybe you should
Okay.
keep the laser scalpel.
Yeah, I'm a doctor now.
You should
I'm a
break down on the
doctor.
side of the road for 4 hours more often.
Yeah.
You guys,
This is amazing.
I feel like I've become wiser in my travels.
Sure.
Today.
Okay.
Hilarious. I told you I'm like hyper focused right now.
So what would you like to do with that momentum? Would you like to bank it? Do you want to ask questions? What would you like to do with it?
I want
You're
to.
going to succeed.
I want to make it rain. Okay, so So it was 3. So we got 2 momentum. Let's.
If you want to bank them. If
you
not,
want to bank
guys
them,
could
you
also
can.
ask questions.
Right. Okay.
When this scene is over, you're losing one, just so you know.
Oh, right.
Okay, so we should at least. Well, yeah, we should at least use 1. Okay, so I did the thing. What did I do? Did I melt the ice?
So the scalpel, and you watch this hissing sound as the ice melts rapidly, and you see this little wisp of gas, and that's it.
I would like to analyze the gas as it's being emitted.
Okay. Go ahead and make your roll. That's going to be a reason science check.
Those scientists always doing the science.
Xander is tricorder happy.
No.
Science.
Nope.
But the tricorder is not Xander happy.
How do I figure
Okay,
out a
Tristan.
complication range?
Tristan, as you're scanning it, you're. Oh, I didn't even give you the difficulty number. It was
Oopsie
1.
doodle.
All right, so let's slow down because I'm going.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Xander.
I get excited.
We're all D&D happy.
I know,
I get it. So the difficulty is 1. You got 0 successes. Is that correct?
Correct.
Right, so the tricorder is actually not able to tell you anything you don't already know. It's, you're detecting the trace elements.
That's fair.
Obviously, you don't have enough information based off of this scan to actually see that there's anything different about it. But as that little wisp of smoke goes up in front, it's just registering as the straight up normal. It looks like water that has high contents of pneumonia and various other dangerous chemicals. It's just not a sustainable world yet. So the water here is not drinkable. Let's put it that way.
But it's something that has a remarkably low freezing point.
Yes,
Okay.
that is correct.
So
Do not eat snow.
no
Wear
snow
gloves
fights,
when making
no
snowmen.
forts.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I remove the frost from the wires. Does anything happen?
Nothing's
No
nothing's
power.
happening.
Well, I did the medicine thing,
All right.
and
You can try to
wave that
reboot the
around.
computer, but nothing. It doesn't reactivate.
yeah, I'm like, here's a scalpel back.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Turn it off first,
Oh,
please.
okay.
Thank you. You did fantastic.
Thank you. I did, but nothing happened. Sorry, I'm trying to get. I actually feel really delirious right now in a good way.
I know. Don't
Yeah.
worry. We're gonna be patient with you.
No, it's good. It's good.
You
there
are
was
such
something
a
I was
trooper
gonna
for playing
do.
tonight.
Okay, so I can't. So obviously, there's no power. But
You can try rebooting the computer. The power didn't come back on when you removed
So basically,
it.
did I try turning it off and on again? Is what you're asking me?
Well, it turned itself off, but yes, you can try
Let
turning
me
it
call
back
the
on.
IT guy.
Yeah,
Be
that's just what he would say.
Okay.
Orion Shuttle IT.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what can I do?
exactly. I think that's something Rin would say.
When you hear
to
somebody
me.
pick up the phone, it's Zazra on the other side. Where did you
Yes.
take my shuttle?
Oh no. So I guess I'll just try rebooting. See if
Okay.
that works.
Go ahead and make a control
Alt
plus
delete.
engineering check.
All right.
Difficulty is 3. Actually, you know what? I'm going to set the difficulty at 0. So go ahead and make this roll.
Okay.
Tell me what you get. How many
2 successes.
2 successes. So go ahead and gain that in momentum.
Oh, that's why you're doing this, because
Yeah, I'm
something
giving you
big,
momentum.
something bad's
Well,
about to happen.
oh no,
Zero?
it's because as your fingers play across the console, nothing is happening.
Oh.
The computer will not reboot.
Okay.
Despite removal, with this yet again, you're able to see after trying to reboot the computer yet a
Right.
second time, you're able to see that it must have been some kind of disturbance or an EMP wave of some kind that shut the computer down because
There's just no power whatsoever.
there's no power. So it must be a complete wipe of the power systems.
Lieutenant, nothing is getting. I'm not getting anything. I feel like the best motion would be to go into the tower and see if they have anything inside that could help us get and restore power to the shuttle. We're gonna have to evacuate your team anyway.
Right.
Tristan, your tricorder will give you scans. You should be able to detect how far you are from the tower with the tricorder.
Okay.
Yeah.
How far away are we?
Go ahead and make your reason plus. Actually, yeah, this could be reason. This could actually go either way. I'm gonna say will be reason science. This is a basic scan.
Okay. And the difficulty.
Difficulty.
Nice,
Difficulty
nice.
is 1.
Thank you. Oh, critical success.
Yes.
So that's 2.
So you'll get a momentum. Do you want to spin that, or do you want to bank it?
I do. I want to ask more questions once I find out how far.
You
away.
detect that the science station is a little over 1.5 miles away from you.
Through my readings, does it seem like the terrain is traversable?
The terrain is traversable, but the winds out there it's going to make it a difficult slog. Thankfully, it looks like the depth of the snow, a lot of it is frozen and become solid. So it's literally walking across. From the scan, it looks like you're going to be walking across glass, basically.
So we're about 1.5 miles away from the station. The terrain is traversable. There's one thing that I want to try before we go, though. You mentioned, because you were muttering to yourself as you were trying to fix...
that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That it seemed like it was some sort of EMP, like some sort of pulse.
I mean, that's the only thing I can think of that can explain this. I've never seen power just...
I wonder if we can create some sort of feedback or a conduit where it would act like a defibrillator, where we recreate the pulse to kind of jumpstart the power again.
We could try.
I don't know how machines work, but...
I do.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Basically,
Can I do that?
Let's do some
Can I
ship
do that?
CPR.
If you come up with creative stuff like this and want to
Yeah.
throw down the dice and spin momentum, you can do pretty much anything you
Yeah,
want.
I would love to try that. I mean, we could use what we have with our tricarders and our phasers to try and
Sure.
create some kind of pull. Yeah, and I have a focus in jerry rigging. So
That's true. Also, just to add a sense of foreboding to the situation right now, as he's suggesting this, you both are watching the temperature in the shuttle has dropped to 140 degrees, minus 140 degrees.
whatever we
is-
try, we better try it fast because if not, we're just going to be encased in ice.
How long do we have in the environmental suits?
You got some time in the environmental suits.
Okay.
The environmental suits are going to protect you guys well into at least tomorrow. Like,
Okay.
you guys will be okay. But
Still, we might not have a shuttle tomorrow. I don't know why I'm telling you that.
I
I'm
understand.
talking out loud.
Yeah.
there are periodic ice storms that take place. You guys, when you all crashed, you're being slashed at with shards of ice. Those have ceased.
Okay.
So yeah, no, I would have given that to you on your tricorder scan.
That's what I was
Those
gonna
have died down.
Okay.
But they were
But
prominent.
they could come back at any moment.
This
where
planet's
we have
prone
a
to them.
mile and a half walk, and I'm not fast.
I will do our best.
Okay. All right, let me start.
Did you spend that last momentum, or did you end up asking a question?
He hasn't
I
asked
asked
that
a question
He has a
if it was traversable.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
it is traversable.
I'm going to jerry rig something together, so I'm going to take momentum for this.
We're down to
Okay.
3.
So you're attempting to try to basically jumpstart using some kind of power surge.
Jumper cables.
So walk me through the narrative of this. What are you using to try to jumpstart this? You have a few items on you that
Right.
have
We
a
have
very,
our phaser. We have phasers. We have
you could jury rig
medical
a phaser because your phaser does have a power rating.
Right.
So I'll let you drain a phaser to try to basically use that as a shock cable. Your phaser will be dead after that.
I can attempt it with a phaser, but then we'll only be down to one phaser for protection. I mean, I feel if
Are there any more in the shuttle? Okay.
Nope.
it's just our two.
Orion
professional
shuttlecraft.
team.
Somewhere Rue's like, yes, there are.
Rue's like,
Who
I
has a secret
installed.
arsenal
I got a
attached in the
Klingon
back?
disruptor.
Like, there is like 30 phaser rifles and
Yeah.
a photon torpedo in
Who's
that
like,
shuttle.
pull the tab on the top, and it's like a drop. It's like a drop of PowerPoint. Like,
Is the shuttle armed?
The shuttle has no armaments, no.
Dang it. Okay.
No, it's not.
But does it have arms?
Does it have...
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's got
sure.
the
It's Orion.
severed limbs of its enemies
Yeah.
pasted to the outside of the hull.
Is
can
this
use-
a reaver?
But
You
yeah.
can use
Oh,
my-
I didn't tell you that? I'm sorry. I left that out. Yeah, no, it's a Reaver shuttle.
Oh, God.
Oh, did I leave that out about Zazar? Oh, yeah, no. He actually doesn't have a face. I was lying this whole time. Sorry. Oh, God. There goes Amy. That's why I was confused. Why do they keep calling him sexy? I can see his skull. Like, guys, come on. No, but yeah, it's not that.
Okay.
You
Well,
can use my phaser.
I'm getting more and more anxious
Okay.
and kind of it's getting harder to breathe for me.
Okay.
I'm getting
In this suit, feeling your voice against the glass of the helmet.
right, and it's
inside
dark,
this, yeah.
and I'm not feeling it. So if we're gonna do this, let's do this now.
Ensign, I believe in you.
Thank you.
Even if this doesn't work, we're gonna make it through this.
Thank you. I don't know you, weirdo. I'm just kidding.
I know you.
He's a counselor. He's good at this.
I know. I needed that. I'm nervous. Okay,
Good
here I go.
Starfleet positive reinforcement.
Just rolling. What's the difficulty?
So you're making this is to jury rig this. This is going to be an impressive little feat of engineering, but it's kind of what engineers do. So this is going to be a control engineering check for sure.
Okay.
You'll get your engineering focus here
Great.
for jury rigging.
Okay.
Would I be able to assist with
How would you
moral
assist?
support?
Holding
Well,
a flashlight.
actually, as a counselor,
Yeah.
I'm gonna. You know what? That little speech you gave, I will totally let that be an assist. So why don't you make a roll?
Yay.
We'll say that's going to be presence and command.
Okay.
Love it.
Actually, doctor's orders. I'm going to use medicine instead of command.
Okay.
Nice.
So I gave you. What was your difficulty 2? Is that correct?
3.
Okay, cool. So
Did
3.
you already take a?
I did.
Okay.
All right. So go ahead and make you
All
guys'
right.
roll. The range, the motion.
So
my
critical
God.
success
I saw the other one
and a
first.
success and a complication.
And I also succeeded.
So a
4
total of 4 successes and a complication.
and a 20, so a complication.
Okay.
I was like, crit. Ooh. Yeah.
The shuttle goes. You watch the power levels on the phaser go. For a split second, nothing happens, and then the shuttle goes. You see the lights come up on the console. You see a status report. You see a basic readout.
Is there an
as
alarm
the shuttle
happening?
begins to read? What's that?
Is there an alarm happening?
Nope.
No alarm?
And you also see in the inside of your helmet, you see the temperature stop dropping.
Okay. And the lights are back on too, so
The lights are back on.
you can tell, very relieved.
And your phaser is now completely devoid of energy. It's been discharged.
Oh, I used mine. Damn it.
Well, whose ever you wanted to use.
It
I
was
said
mine.
you could use mine.
Okay,
but-
so
But
Xander,
it was
all right,
mine.
so
I'm not good with weapons.
Tristan
anyway.
gave you his phaser.
Oh no,
Sage was able to.
I used my phaser.
Oh, okay.
I was like, you can use. Oh, okay. You're
Oh,
doing
okay,
it.
you
I was
ready?
already
All right.
started. I'm like, mine's already
would you want
open.
me- no, I can use yours too.
Yeah,
cool,
I
that's
don't
cool.
shoot people.
Yeah.
You can do it.
guys
I'm really
pump
bad.
each
I have
other to
horrible
death.
aim.
Okay, so when the shuttle comes back online, I'm going to enact that complication. You have no communications, and the engines are not working. You only have stable life support inside the shuttle, and minimal sensors. It's only telling you what your tricorder has told you.
But now the door's open, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, the doors can open now.
Lark, does this shuttle have any sort of transportation?
It does not have a transporter.
I was like looking at you. No,
Nope, there's
no,
no
it does not have
shuttle.
it doesn't have a
It
transporter.
is a dump shuttle.
However, we do have sensors, correct?
Yes, you have sensors. Right now the power levels that they're at, they're only going to give you about the same information that a tricorder is capable
Oh,
of
because I was
giving
saying, could we scan for life signs? Because if the
You can,
tower's
yes.
just a mile and a half away,
Yeah.
I mean, we're at least closer now. Maybe we can at least pick up something.
Yeah. Also, does it move at all?
No, we don't have any engines, and I
see.
can't get a hold of anyone either. I think your communications are down.
Okay.
But
that's-
at least the lights are on.
Hey, you did a great job.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And the doors can open
Oh,
if we
good.
want to leave.
Okay.
Which would also be a good idea.
Sure. Let's. I like your idea. Let's search for life signs.
Okay. I can do that, and you can do that too.
Why are you laughing?
Or we should probably get out.
No, I just pictured the door opening and the stop animated Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah.
The abominable snowman is outside. Sorry, it's the most ridiculous image, and I've been having a lot of coffee. So
would be-
go ahead and make a scan.
I am double fisting.
Okay, cool. No, we're all on the same boat. All right, so go ahead and make your roll. The difficulty to scan for life signs in this environment is going to be 2.
Okay, and will he be able to assist me since he
Yeah, you
also
can
is scanning,
assist.
so,
Sure.
Yeah.
So with the 3 of us.
So Xander, you are going to roll. It's going to be the same thing.
Sure.
It'll be a reason science check.
Okay.
Mine too.
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Life forms.
Oh, that's a good one.
This little life.
Oh, I don't have a. Wait, I have a focus in computers. Did that help? No. And Helms is no, that doesn't help.
No, that wouldn't work here. It'd be
Well,
a
I got 2 successes, but
Okay.
One success.
they would have been critical.
Okay. So bank some momentum, or do you want to spend it immediately?
Let's see what
we
the readout.
find.
Okay, scanning for life forms. You're not detecting anything in the immediate vicinity of the shuttle. However, in the general direction of the facility, you are detecting faint signs of life forms. You are not able to register, looking at what from this initial reading, you're not sure what kind of life forms they are or how many there are.
Well, that's
but
a
you
good
are detecting
sign.
biological signs.
Yeah. If it's okay with you, I'd like to head there immediately.
Just so you know, this is a perfect opportunity to say, can I spend a momentum to get more
Oh, right.
information? I'm just giving you that as an example. You don't have to.
Sure.
But because you already know kind of what to expect when you get there. But
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
but like I want to supply you guys with perfect
Yeah.
examples.
Yes.
Like if you want more, if you want to prod for more.
Sure.
All right. So there are Klingon life signs at the station.
Okay.
There's about 17.
17?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's strange.
17.
Yeah.
Did you say there was a
were
team
12.
of 12?
It's 13 total
That's right.
that was over there. So there's 4 more there than should be.
Were any of them expecting,
Babies.
Not in a
yeah,
month.
children?
No.
I don't know. I'm just trying to
My
think of
God,
anything.
that gestation period is fast.
It's
Yeah.
been a month.
It's
it
a
could have
triple
happened.
Klingon.
I mean,
It's a triple Klingon. A hybrid.
it's a triple Klingon.
oh my
Um,
gosh. Worf
Well,
would be like,
maybe.
I mean, we
I
were
mean, there-
sending out distress signals, so maybe the Empire answered and went directly to the Environmental Control Center.
True, or maybe a small team went out on their own without getting the word
I
out.
think I would know about that, but there's
Either way, there's life signs. Let's go and check
yeah,
it out.
There's only
and-
one way to find out.
And then maybe they can help us get these engines back up and running. We can get some of these people out of here.
Yeah.
All right,
Open the door.
doors are open. Rudolph!
as that door comes sliding up, you see through as the door opens, the mist kind of clears a little bit, and you see a beautiful alien world just outside the doors. It's a landscape of pure glass and crystal all around the shuttle. The impact that the shuttle made on the surface, apparently the temperatures are so low out here that as you're looking out, you see some of the broken nacelles underneath the ice like they've always been there. It's perfectly smoothed over. There's no sign of fractures anywhere in the ice.
And it's been less than like 5 minutes.
I mean, it has been a short amount of time. I'd say it's been about 15, 20 minutes since
Sure.
you guys crashed. So, stepping out, the ice itself, your boots being all-terrain survival boots, stepping out into the terrain, they're able to easily attach a grip to this surface, which you would have slipped on the moment you stepped onto it.
Yeah.
The wind is very chaotic. It fluctuates in short bursts, and then it'll die down completely for long periods, and then it'll just gush up again. When the wind does kind of gush up into short bursts, it clears enough of the mist away where you can see off into the distance. And again, it's kind of like that. Think of it's quite like the planet Interstellar.
Okay.
Where it's just this ice terrain of huge mountainous blocks of glassy ice and clouds. You can see in the distance storm fronts rolling through from the high atmosphere, where some of the winds, if you remember correctly, in the high atmosphere was blowing at something in excess of hurricane strength.
Yes.
You can see tornadoes off in the distance that are made almost entirely of ice themselves. Whoa. It's an extraordinary sight.
Ice-nado.
It's literally just a
also thought
swirling of glass and reflecting off of some of the light that's being able to break through the clouds. It looks like there's a diamond tornado in the distance blowing through some of these sweeping gusts of misty wind. And your temperature registers that it has dropped below 214 degrees just outside your suit. It would be instant death for anybody who was exposed to this temperature.
It's beautiful, but I don't know about you, but I'd like to get inside as quickly as possible.
I have a question.
Yeah.
With these suits, are they the same suits that are designed to be out in space? Like,
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are thrusters.
So this temperature is considered warm to what this suit
Sure.
is used to being able to. What's up?
So I'd like to just do a little bit of an experiment where I deactivate the grip from my boots and activate thrusters, and
Okay.
see if I can ski on the ice.
I'm gonna die.
Okay,
just to
you
see.
lean forward.
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to make a fitness security
no.
check.
Oh
A
no!
fitness
Don't
what?
make me do that.
Fitness security check.
Oh no.
The difficulty is going to
skis on
be.
these suits?
What's that?
I'm just
But
getting
like
rid of the
skate,
grip.
almost like, or like,
Yeah.
slipping, like
Okay.
risky business style.
You slide
'Cause you
open the
said-
panel and deactivate the gravitational the ankle or the anchor rather on the boots.
What are you doing?
And you lean forward. The thrusters on the elbows. You lean forward and
I'm gonna try something.
go ahead and activate. So the difficulty here is going to be 3.
3. Oh no. Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. So that means I get to have 3.
Yes.
And then it was fitness security, which
That's
is
correct.
okay.
What's your target?
9.
Okay. Oh, great.
All right.
We have so much in common.
1 success.
So this is what you watch. I want to try something. He angles down, and you watch Lieutenant. You watch the lieutenant. He. Lieutenant Paylor angles down, and you see this sort of like gleam in his eye through the helmet suit that he's taking this situation very seriously.
Yeah.
But there's also this just, can I do this kind of look in his eyes? And as he angles down, he activates that thruster, and you see that sort of coming out the back of his elbows, and he goes.
And for a split second, I think this is the coolest thing ever.
Right?
You catch on to what he's trying to do, and the moment he gets I'd say about 5 feet, the upper half of his body moves forward where the lower half of his body does not catch up. And you watch as he literally rockets
Faceplant.
head first into the ice and slides a good 60 feet just across the ice. You're smacking against the glass over and over and
Oh my
over
gosh.
until you deactivate those thrusters.
Yeah, I deactivate.
Rattled inside your environmental suit.
I
you
run
come
over. Like, are you okay? Are you okay?
You catch up to him as he comes to a sliding. You're facing, looking into this like deep blue of the ice below you, just like catching your breath. You have no idea how far you fell, or
Far, because
slid.
I'm running after
but
you. In the wrong
You
direction.
can hear her
probably.
voice in your helmet, like shouting after you. You see that you're in the green though. No cracks, no nothing in the suit.
I'm okay. A little embarrassed, but I'm okay.
Cool. I'm not going to try that one.
Yeah.
You catch up. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's no broken bones, no nothing. But
Yeah.
that did not work.
No, it did not. Looks like we're walking.
I mean, I can push you if you really want to go.
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
I'll reactivate the anchor.
Good
Okay.
idea.
You
How about
find
we just
you
walk?
have
I know you're
steady ground
excited to
underneath you.
get there, but
Yeah.
maybe we should just
Let's
we
just
can
walk.
we can briskly walk.
All right. Cut 2.
It could have worked.
I kind of
That's
want to
what's
try
crazy
it,
is that
but-
you could have.
Honestly, and this is something I'm going to implement now on, and it may be a little abusive because it just so happens that my entire group is phenomenal, but I'm going to give you guys momentum. So instead of taking away a momentum for the scene change, just keep the one you had.
Oh.
Yeah, so
I
don't
like it.
gain
Levels
one.
out.
So I'm giving you guys a momentum just because that was a great scene and good role playing. So and really ingenuitive stuff going on. So so we're gonna cut to Throlo hearing Rue say "Doctor," and turning around to see corpses sitting up in body bags inside the storage area of the medical facility. Rue doesn't look so much scared as ready to kill and beat down if they have to. They immediately put themselves between you and the body bag that's sitting up. This
Is a nightmare because the thing as a doctor you most dream of is that people you've given up on are going to sit back up, but you also know that this is not.
It's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
temperature
there's
in here,
also
you,
the
again,
Frankenstein's dream. Yeah.
not so much. You're as an Andorian, you're not really feeling the cold in here. It's kind of nice and comfortable. Rue's breath is showing, and they're not having any reaction to the drop in temperature. There's about 30 body bags that have all set up in this room.
Nope.
And the one on the bed behind you has also begun to twitch a little bit.
And that was Ensign Vendil who did that change for us, right?
Yes.
And I'm trying to make sure the way that you went through the causality, it would be pretty apparent to me that this just happened.
As a scientist and a doctor and a Starfleet officer, someone who's familiar with cause and effect and forming a hypothesis, it seems very likely that this is a result of the sudden change in environment.
Ensign Vendil?
Yes, Doctor.
Please reverse the course that we just gave you. If we could just warm it up in here, we may have learned something valuable about our current challenge.
Sure, Doctor. Hold on one sec.
Warmer, yes.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
What was that?
I don't like that.
That's funny. Okay, so I know Taliesin felt like running that vampire game last Thursday suddenly.
I have to get up and walk over there and see what he rolled.
It's
Yeah.
2 20s. I rolled 2 20s.
Oh no.
So you hear the ensign saying, oh, the environmental controls aren't working. I think there might be something wrong with the controls again. Is Ensign Sage around? Could she have a look at them again? I don't know how she got them up running the first time.
No, she's off rescuing those people.
Okay, so while this dialogue is happening, as you're responding,
Back to back with Rue, I assume.
the corpse, Rue is has assumed a stance that you've seen before. You saw this on Zazaret's ship, and has put one crutch behind them and one crutch in front, in a position where they could launch themselves if they had to jump into combat. The body on the bed behind you has now just slowly just.
What can I tell about the motion of these?
Judging by the facts, well, let's do this. Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and make a reason medicine roll. Actually,
Yes.
this would be an insight medicine roll.
Okay.
We are down to 2 momentum for those keeping track at home.
We're here.
Inside medicine is target 14.
For those of
What's
us
my
keeping
difficulty?
The difficulty here is 2.
track, we are at 2.
Okay. You got this, Doc.
The
That's a
facial
great
expressions
face.
coming from that table tonight.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Ooh.
Ooh.
See, we remembered, Sam.
Ooh.
Thank you,
Thank
Elisa.
Good one.
They were
Let's get
screaming
rid
at
of
their screen.
those.
He didn't expand the range, so that one's okay. It's just a fail. But we're
didn't.
gonna re-roll this 20.
Yeah.
Alright.
Let's reroll
Man,
that
breaking out the
20.
20s. Breaking out the 20s.
Okay.
And that knocked the other. It would have been what? 2 successes. What was my difficulty?
The difficulty was 2.
Okay.
Okay. They're not moving. They're sitting up, but they're not moving. And this one that just sat up behind you, his head is just sort of lulled back, like, and it looks stiff still. Like its head isn't able to touch its back when it throws its head back, like it normally would if it was, say, alive. Probably from rigor mortis setting in, but for whatever reason, it just kind of sits up, and none of them are moving. So the reaction seems to be limited to them sitting up at the moment, and you're not getting any other types of movement.
And the movement is consistent with them still having the solidified circulatory systems.
All of them, none of them have had that removed. They've all died with their circulatory systems completely solidified.
The motion, is it originating in a certain part of the back, or is it head first?
Well, from what you see in the body bags,
Yeah.
it's hard to tell. But examining this Klingon that's behind you, you probably have to spend momentum to get more information for what you're going for. Because you're trying to figure out what the specifics of the reaction of the temperature and the setting up is, correct?
I for some reason I'm weirdly fixated on the nature of the sitting up and
No,
what's
well, you're a doctor.
physiologically
So yeah, what you get is that they're not moving, and it doesn't seem like everything that's moving forward right now, as you see things happening, it doesn't look like there's any more motion to what they're doing. So right now, their only physical response to the temperature drop has been sitting up, and they haven't moved at all. They're stock still.
But somehow I'm observing a reaction that's limited to the top halves of their bodies.
Well, the top half of their bodies is the only thing that's moved.
Right.
They're sitting up.
No one is standing.
No one is standing. No one has done anything except for sit up. And the only Klingon you have a pretty good glimpse at.
My internal monologue right now is like, what kind of creature affects your spine only above your waist? What is possibly going on here? But that's not what I say. Is there any way, are there any internal temperature controls to this room?
I mean, the computer. You can definitely affect environmental controls of the medical facility.
Well, let's start by working on that. Warming these guys.
Rue just says, "Do you know what's going on?"
that calmly.
Normally, I'm delighted when I have something to figure out, but this is not my favorite test case. I don't know yet, but I think we should definitely warm it back up here. This planet seems to have some cold-related secrets, which I would love to learn more about once.
Doctor,
These, yes?
go ahead and warm it back up.
Okay. If you could just walk with me to the controls.
Without even looking at you and just feeling where you're at, that situational awareness, Rue backpedals, crutch, just across the floor without even looking at you and is able to keep within a foot of you the whole time. And as you move back towards the panels, you see the display popping up. Environmental controls are reading that the temperature in this room is normal.
Define normal.
In other words, they're at the, it should be a nice 78 degrees Fahrenheit in this room right now. Kind
As
of
in-
comfortable.
The reading is not accurate.
That would probably be accurate. That the reading is in fact not accurate.
The controls seem to think it's roasting in here. I am torn because I'm in a room of like, this being Throlo's first zombie experience. She's not convinced that she's not surrounded by people she can save right now. She's
Okay.
also not convinced they're not about to attack her, but she's trying very hard to focus in on just turn it up more then, I guess.
Okay. Go ahead and make a control engineering check.
Sure.
Oh no. Can I assist?
Sure.
From afar?
What is the difficulty there?
The difficulty here is 2.
I'm probably not going to win us back any momentum, but do you all mind if I spend another
Go for
one?
it.
Do it.
Rue, I miss you.
They're here. They're right next to you.
All right, my target's 11.
Ooh. Ouch. Oh.
2.
Okay. You're able to successfully navigate the complexities of the Klingon life support system. Having not really been that versed in how to read Klingon, moving throughout the computer system, you do manage to find the point where you could raise and lower the temperature and also affect the humidity of the room, and moisture levels, that sort of thing. As you're inputting the commands, you're like, I think this is right, and kind of tapping on them, double-clicking the button, so to speak, to try to get that slider to go up temperature.
Coded that way. That seems good.
You're relatively confident that everything you just did should have had the exact result that you were looking for. And as a few seconds pass and nothing happens, you realize that the environmental controls in this area are not functioning because nothing changes.
Okay. Is there anything in this med bay that I can just use as a heater?
Well, you can call up Sage and try to have her jury rig a tricorder to a...
Laser scalpel.
Yeah. Actually, there are devices to be used as sutures and whatnot. There is a laser scalpel in here that does run at a high temperature. The problem is that a lot of the devices in here do not radiate strong heat. It's all exact pinpoint heat.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking for something that sort of could function like a lamp, like a heat lamp in your hand kind of thing, there's not really anything around here. Unless you want to... How much momentum do you guys have?
1.
No. I can't help you.
What about body heat? Ooh.
I
You and Roost
do-
just start running in circles?
No one has moved any further, right?
No, the room is completely still, and it's very eerie, to say the least. But none of them have moved from their positions.
Is there any way to alter my phaser to just channel its energy in terms of some gentle heat?
Yes. You could fire a sustained blast at something to heat up an object. It would probably effectively end up destroying that object, but if you can find something that could withstand being superheated for a short amount of time, you could have a sustained laser beam from a phaser heat up something.
Like how they heated up rocks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It would have to be at its lowest setting, and I would probably rule that you would have to spend a power doing it because it's one sustained stream. But yes, you could do that. You'd have to find something around here that could sustain a phaser strike, a sustained like phaser blast.
I mean, the kinds of shielding that you use when you're conducting like brain scans and other things, they're pretty sturdy.
You're talking about like quarantine fields for like medical treatments and whatnot?
Like, oh boy, vocabulary for medical things.
Just
I
fire
should
away.
look some up.
Everybody knows we're not real doctors.
Yeah. What?
There are cases where, like, rather than putting someone in like a full kind of iron lung chamber thing, you will like have them laid out in a bed, but there's like basically surfaces that come over them as you're doing full body scans.
Yes.
And they must be designed to transmit and like they're normally designed, I think, to contain radiation, but they have to be pretty hardy.
They are.
So are there any of those sort of diagnostic units that I can put someone inside and heat up?
There are not.
Okay, Klingons.
We're doing our best.
They would have
You're reminded of the fact that the Klingon Empire is not known for their medical training.
Are there any rocks?
That's a fair question.
That's a fair question. There are no rocks.
Are there any rocks outside?
Outside the door, there might be some outside the outside the sick bay. Yeah,
Do I remember seeing any rocks?
not in the hallways or anything coming up here, but I mean there are. I mean it is a colony. There's
Are
got
there
to
any
be
metal chairs?
Yes, there is a metal chair in this room.
It mostly gets really hot, less with the radiating, like...
Let me put it this way: if you superheat a metal chair, it's not going to be able to hold the heat very long.
Yeah.
It'll eventually cool rapidly. It will cool rapidly moments after you've superheated it, basically.
Yeah.
However, it might be enough time if you heat it enough. If you keep it near one body to get a reaction,
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to heat the room though.
Right. I think at the moment it's the best I've got.
Rue hasn't moved. Rue is about as still as those bodies, like a spider on a web, and they're just waiting for somebody to do something stupid. Although these are all dead creatures, so
Are they...
would you like to know something?
I mean, they're moving.
They moved.
Yep.
Yes.
Right.
Do you have a plan? You heard Rue say. Or do we need to leave?
Let's see if we can't learn something. You can pull me out of here when you think you need to, but
I've got you.
can't believe there are no gel packs or hand warmers. Environmental controls don't work, and all I've got is a metal chair. But if all I've got is a metal chair, let's do this.
All right. So your phaser loses 1 power.
I don't appear to have written down what the normal power level in a phaser is.
That's okay. I think we all have it.
Yes,
Oh,
we
and
all
I believe it's like 2 or 3, isn't it?
Yeah, we all know. It's definitely
common
9.
knowledge.
We're professionals here.
3? Is it 3?
Here at Geek and Sundry, we know our RPG material.
That's my bad.
Definitely
Up
a
and
Type
down.
2 phaser.
It is a
I
Type
have-
2 phaser.
Oh, I have a Type 1 because I'm.
Well, that makes
From
sense.
the past.
Your
That's
phaser
why we
has-
used my
Your
phaser.
phaser has little training wheels on it. As soon as you're ready, we'll unlatch those and then you'll be good to go.
Unlatch- yeah.
Phaser.
Weapons,
I'll
gears,
probably lose
another
one
item.
with, like, a
Okay,
tricycle.
phaser.
Or
A Type 2
eventually,
phaser.
And
Sorry,
stun.
guys.
Be careful.
Unicycle.
Charge. Let's see.
Little bell.
I'll have a uni phaser.
Okay.
tassels on the belt. Ding ding.
Often refers. Actually doesn't give a power rating on these. Type 2 phaser's range is a damage rating of 3. It's one-handed. It has a charge and it is standard issue. So what I'll just rule is this. Using the phaser in this capacity will remove the charge and you will not be able to use it again
Ooh. But you have a
until it's
Rue.
recharged.
You have Rue.
I do.
You don't need a phaser.
All right. Let's try this. Is there one particular body that is nearest to me that I can sort of be separated from the bulk of the rest of the group?
The body on the bed. I'm gonna actually revise that ruling. I'm gonna say you can use it, but it's gonna lose the charge attribute. You'll still be able to use the phaser, but you won't be able to say if you roll an effect,
Yeah.
you won't be able to activate an effect
Okay.
until it's recharged. We'll just say that's a little special ruling here. And even to make it more fair, I'll drop a threat for it. Since you're using a phaser in a special way. So, so the body that's closest, the body that's on the bed is probably your best bet, unless you want to go start unzipping body bags.
And I find something like a surgical blanket or something sufficient to hold on to the chair, so that I will not burn the hell out of myself.
Well, so once this thing is superheated, there's nothing you're touching on that chair that's not going to ignite or burn yourself. There's nothing in this room that's going to be able to insulate and
Then
protect
I'll
your
just place
hands.
it near
And just
my...
yeah, really, your only course of action is to place it near and charge that thing.
Yeah, it'd be like melted
Yeah.
metal almost, you know?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. All right. Ding, ding, ding. Go ahead and I'm gonna say this is gonna be a success at cost. So the difficulty here is gonna be 1, and if you succeed, you're gonna succeed no matter what. But success at cost means if you fail, even if you don't roll a complication, you're gonna generate threat.
What is she rolling?
It's gonna be your fitness plus security.
Oh, never mind. I was saying if it was like medicine or something.
Or I'm sorry, control plus security.
Okay.
Control security.
Marginally better.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a ranged weapon. So control security, and yeah, difficulty is 1.
Just the 2,
So let's just see what you get.
1 success.
Okay.
I assume none of my focuses are applying to superheating a chair.
Do you have anything to help you with
Very
phasers?
specific.
Emergency medicine?
So that chair superheats, and the chair goes, "Thank you, doctor. I've been so cold since I was built. I've been nothing but cold, being made of metal.
Chariot from the Chilair galaxy. You freed me from
I have
my
touched
chair
so much
Wonder life
Klingon
forms,
ass in
Captain
my
Klingon.
time. It's been wretched."
Gonna need another shuttle bay.
We got a plant, we got a chair.
Okay, so the beam lances across, hits the chair, and as it sustains, the chair shifts from the impact of the beam. It slides across the floor a little bit, but holds. And
I'd like with my other hand to have the tricorder out because I need to know what is going on with test patient A as this happens.
Rue, standing next to you, said, "You could have asked me to do this."
Oh, sorry.
So you're holding up the tricorder. Rue says, "Give me the phaser." You just kind of quickly, agilely hand it off with your hand still on the button. They take it, holding it there. Go ahead and make your reason science check or medicine check.
Excellent.
Difficulty is 3.
Oof, man.
Yep.
We are
You
down
are
to
watching
0 moment.
waves of heat starting to form around the bed area. So clearly it's working.
Ow.
And the chair has begun to glow a bright red.
What does this Klingon look like? curious.
I would say middle-aged, died well before his time, dressed like a farmer, so wearing simple, warm cloth. It's really thick. Like heavy Klingons when they wear. Remember what the Klingons were wearing in Star Trek 6 on Rurapente? It's kind of like that. It's not animal furs, but it's like really thick, heavy cloths in multiple layers wrapped over them with a leather belt. There was no obvious sign of death, except for, of course, that it was the virus. Other than that, they would have looked perfectly healthy. They're kind of ashen colored from being dead for so long.
And it just literally looks like a body sitting up with no pupil motion, no
Eyes have not
respiration,
opened.
no...
Lids are still closed, no breathing, nothing.
What are you doing?
Go ahead and make your scan.
And look at each one. You can tell
We
what
need to
happened.
make a compilation of reaction gifs.
Xenobiology's gonna come in here, right? Or infectious diseases? One of
Infectious
those?
diseases will come in here.
Fantastic. 4 successes.
4 successes.
Crit.
So go ahead and gain that momentum.
A natural crit and a focus crit.
It was
Wow, y'all are critting like crazy. It's crazy night. Shield it tomorrow. Your tricorder is alive with readings. The bacteria in the blood.
Alive like this Klingon?
Alive like it's been reanimated because all the bacteria that died has come back.
Oh.
And the solidification of the nervous system has caused, the temperature drop has caused it to breach out from some of the blood vessel walls and has now seeped into the musculature itself. It looks like the sitting up, judging from the scan, it looks like the sitting up is a cause from like a muscle contraction from the virus spreading further.
A fresh
This
site of
bacteria, rather,
infection
spreading
was
further.
created by the temperature drop, and now it's in the musculature and not the nervous system. I mean, the circulatory system. That's what I said.
So they're still dead. And we have nothing to worry about?
Well, the infection is active again, and we still don't know how it transmits.
Rue walks, they just clear that space over towards the body and shoves a crutch right into its chest. Because Rue wants to run their own science experiment.
Rue is unhinged.
Rue, you don't do the science, Rue.
Rue's gonna science it with a crutch. But Rue rolled 2 18s. So, what you see is Rue just, and as they hit that Klingon's chest, the Klingon just,
Ooh.
So it's stiff.
Ooh, the Klingon
and that's it.
can hold a
Doesn't
punch from
move,
Rue.
doesn't react.
That's impossible.
So Rue takes a few steps back. Did I science well?
That's one. It's a sort of experiment.
That's what Talon would say if she was here.
I wish Talon was here. Not in this room though.
As you glance around like that, not in this room though, you pause, Throlo. He wasn't there before. But outside the medbay is a jock by himself.
Oh.
He was not there moments ago. And he's standing there like a specter, staring in the window at all of you. Rue notices your line of sight and then turns and looks. And there's this dead look in his eyes as he's staring in at all of you. Now we're gonna cut to the Sally Ride. Captain, you watch the Starfield come to a station as the Sally Ride drops out of warp in the Kanjas system. You're about 5 minutes away from Kanjas 2 orbit. The ensign at the helm reports all systems functioning properly. Jiv has come up from engineering with Ren in tow. Ren was already on the bridge. Jiv comes up from engineering and steps off the turbo lift and walks over to Ren's station and just watches her for a second and then just keeps watching the view screen. There's no sign of any other sensor readings as you're coming out, Talon. No indications that any other scout class vessels have followed you here. All is quiet right now. A few minutes pass, and eventually you start seeing appearing in full magnification on the screen the little dot that's about to get really big, Kanjas 2.
I'd like to do a sensor scan immediately
Okay.
on it and see
All right.
what life forms, life signs we're getting.
Okay. Go ahead and make your roll. It's a reason science check, and you are using the Sally Ride sensors, so the difficulty of 3 is dropping to 2.
Ooh, can someone?
And
thank you.
Yeah. If someone can roll for Sally.
I'll roll for Sally.
Yep.
I'll roll for Sally.
Yeah.
Woo, I'm excited.
Your Vulcan science officer does
I'm a
her
ship.
thing.
What am I rolling?
So Sally is going to roll. I had her stats right.
Sensors, I'm assuming.
Thank you.
Yes, that is correct. Sally is going to roll her.
Did we get a difficulty?
The difficulty was 3, but Sally drops it to 2.
And did we lose a momentum?
Yes, you would have lost the
Alright
momentum
then.
from that.
Thanks for letting me spend all the momentum,
So
guys.
difficulty 2, yeah, no problem. This is, and maybe I'll generate some. Hopefully.
Okay, so Sally is going to roll her sensors and science. So sensors and
Ooh.
science. 'Cause this is
Lieutenant
what she
Commander, let
does.
us know what you find as soon as you find it.
So you need a 16 or lower.
What? Wait, what?
I'm talking to Sally.
Oh, okay. I was
Sally is rolling her sensors in science because she's assisting.
like, right.
So she
great.
needs a 16 or lower to assist you.
She sure does.
I got 1 success.
Yeah, Sally got a 17.
Oh.
But I have
Wow.
a cautious, so.
Yes, you do.
Right?
Oh, what do you want me to reroll or do you want?
Oh,
you
sorry. I don't have a cautious.
Oh.
Whenever you attempt, I have, you know what? Technical expertise. Whenever you attempt a task assisted by the ship's computers or sensors, you may reroll 1d20.
Okay.
And it may be the ship's computer
What
too.
did you get? 17?
A 17.
And I got a 19. So either way,
Either way,
I'll just
you
yeah,
can
I'll just
do it.
reroll this.
Okay.
17.
Oh no! Look what I would have gotten.
Man, what is going on tonight? All right.
Okay, 1 success, so nothing.
The atmosphere of this planet is chaotic, and
That's right.
you're not detecting. Sally is only able to detect that this is a Class K planet that has extreme temperatures and a very violent upper atmosphere. Though she is detecting that the lower atmosphere is quite calm. There is also a very obvious Klingon colony established on this planet. You're not getting a reading of how many people are there, and you can't really get a significant readout of how many life forms are there, but you are detecting biological life forms from that planet. And guess what? I'm not going to be a jerk. I'm actually going to go ahead and call the break when we're supposed to call it. It's 8:36, so
Nice.
we're going to stop here as the Sally Ride is approaching Kansas 2. Seemingly all is quiet after the sensor sweep, and we're going to have the giveaway in chat is going to be happening now, so stay tuned across Alpha and Twitch, and we will see you guys back here in about 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you soon. And welcome back to Shield of Tomorrow, the Star Trek RPG show, where we dive headfirst into sheets of ice and rocket across them at high speeds.
Good job, Lieutenant.
Good job, Lieutenant. All
was
right.
Way to go. See, now it's my turn to be the motivational.
It makes me feel better.
It was
Okay.
a great idea.
Thanks.
We have a winner for our I believe it's still the Temporal Agent giveaway pack. Stardust in Our Eyes. You just won your characters on Star Trek Online.
What
So
a magical name.
congratulations.
too.
Stardust in our eyes.
Stardust in our eyes.
I
That's,
know.
you know
I
why
don't mind
that's
reading
great?
off that
Because
one.
that name is not Stardust in my eyes.
Right.
It's already like an inclusive, like, hey, if you're reading this,
I know. It's
Stardust
progressive.
in our
All of us.
eyes.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's
And
progressive.
together.
I appreciate
It's
that.
it's so
I'm writing
collaborative.
that's a good title for a song.
And
is.
they stole it. Look at that.
And it's ours.
And
Copyright.
done.
Yep, copyright, roll
Copyright
credit.
Donna Noble.
Stole it.
All right, let's go ahead and pick up where we left off. You guys had just run a sensor scan. You're coming up on Kansas 2. There's no sign of any scout class vessels. You're getting weak readings from the Sally Ride at this distance. Currently, there's a lot of tension on the bridge right now, Captain. You can feel it from all of your officers. Everybody knows that they're off the grid. Everybody on the bridge is aware that the Sally Ride has stepped off the path of safety and is now in Klingon space without authorization.
But does everybody know why we're here?
Yes.
Because we have people missing.
Yes.
We have our people missing.
No one raised
16
any
hours.
kind of concern or
Okay.
protest when you gave the order. Everyone was, I mean, the ensign plotted the course and engaged. Everyone's on board.
I made a shipwide announcement on the way, and I said, we're getting our people and we're getting the hell out of there as soon as possible, but we need to find our people. So
Okay.
what's the status right now? We just have the Klingon life forms on the outpost. We have that's what we have as far as when we went in just now?
There's no exact reading. You're detecting life forms on the planet, but you're not actually getting what kind of life forms they are from this distance. That's going to change in the next few minutes as you're closing in at full impulse, clearing the system, coming out of warp at the edge of the system, and then clearing the planets as you're moving in. Kansas 2 is not that far away from the edge of the system. It's a pretty small system. There's only 3 planets in the system. The other 2 are completely uninhabitable. One's a gas giant, and the other one is a class. It's the one that has no atmosphere. It's like regular. What is it?
Like a rocky moon kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's more of a planetoid than it is an actual planet itself. And the Kansas system, the star is a typical yellow sun.
Okay.
So it's a rather unremarkable system, but even though, because of the distance of Kansas 2 from the sun,
Right.
is probably the cause of some of the weather patterns that are taking place there.
Okay.
So after a few moments, the Sally Ride begins to slide into orbit. Or once the orbit is established, you're able to get a much clearer image of what the planet looks like. On visuals, you're just watching that marbling effect of thick, soupy white clouds spiraling over the top of a planet that looks like it's made out of just pure ice. There doesn't look like there's hardly any visible rock. So from the surface, the planet itself just looks like a blanket of white shards all over the place. Somewhere down there is the Klingon colony.
I tell the ensign, go ahead and hail our crew people, please.
Okay. Jiv is going to assist.
Oh, good.
Thank you, Jiv.
Okay. Sally Ride is going to assist. The ensign says, hailing frequencies open, sir. And you hear the ding. There's a few moments, and she says, I'm not getting a reply, Captain.
Okay. Have we located them yet?
You can run another scan now that you're up close.
Can I say what I realized on the bird?
Sure, yes. So what I'll do is go ahead and make the roll.
Okay.
Difficulty will be 1.
Oh, great.
That's with the reduction.
Okay.
For
Do you want me to
Sally.
roll for Sally again? I understand.
Yes,
the answer's
please.
no.
No,
Okay.
please.
No, I'm going to give Sally an automatic success here.
Oh, thanks.
So
Yeah.
I did it!
What we
So your
discovered is
difficulty goes
so while we
down.
were at break, we actually discovered that the difficulty was 17, so Talon should have succeeded on that
Yeah,
roll. But rather than
forgot.
retcon it, I'm just going to give Sally an automatic success here.
Yeah.
So you'll succeed. So you're basically rolling to see what kind of momentum you can gain from this. So go ahead and make your roll.
I got 1 success.
Okay.
I do have technical expertise. I could reroll.
Well, you're going to succeed either way. So
Momentum,
if you
though.
want to burn that, you might as well use it.
Yeah,
momentum. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're rolling for momentum at this
Yeah.
point.
Ooh, 17.
Okay.
So 2 success.
2 successes. Okay.
So we gain 2 momentum.
That's correct.
Okay, great.
Sally is detecting, it takes a few moments as you realign the sensors to cut through the interference from the upper atmosphere. But you see that there is in fact a Klingon colony down there. You get the exact number of colonists that are still living. I believe that number is
13, 17?
331 Klingons.
I was way off.
Yeah.
There are
Just in the center is
331
Oh,
Klingons.
4 humans and an Andorian.
Okay.
That's correct.
But we didn't. Oh yeah, no, we haven't lost anyone yet.
No,
For
but
you
you are
Andorian.
you're also
Not
detecting
yet.
you're also detecting a Bajoran.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
You're also
I was like, there was a Bajoran. Oh.
you're detecting a Bajoran, 2 Andorians.
So 2 total
And-
Andorians.
Yes, and a
Great.
Trill.
Great. Yeah, that's what I want to hear.
We're alive.
Yep.
And 1 Trill. Great.
Well, I need at least 3 of those people. Do I know the other Andorian?
No,
Have we met?
you and
An
this other
Andorian?
Andorian.
Not
You
yet.
have not,
Not yet.
specified that any of the one we've met
No,
so far was.
it's so far as I know, Tristan has only communicated with the other Andorian through communications.
That's
not actually
correct.
has not. You've not seen this one face to face just yet. Big colony, but yeah, not eye to eye, not yet.
And did you say there's also 5?
It's like, oh, you're from England? Do you know so and so?
My favorite is the continent of Australia. Like, oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know a few people
You
from
know my-
Australia.
Well,
They're like, great.
What's funny is my friends from New Zealand, if you say, oh, did you know this person? There's actually like a 10% chance they might, because New Zealand's pretty small.
Same circles.
Yeah.
And did you also say that there are 4 humans?
Yes, from the team, this 1,
Yeah.
2, yeah, that's correct.
Okay. All right.
Captain, we are. I am detecting life signs. It appears that there are 331 Klingons, 4 humans, 2 Andorians, 1 Bajoran, and 1 Trill.
All right. Well, they haven't reached out to us yet, so something must be amiss. Their communications must be down. So, Ensign, continue to try and keep hailing them. In the meantime, let's move in to see if we need to beam them out if there's any sort of emergency or anything.
Jiv is going to run a scan. Let's see, I'm going to set the difficulty at 2.
Do you want to use momentum? Get another die?
No, Jiv is pretty damn good, and he just rolled 2 successes anyway,
Oh.
so.
Lieutenant Commander Jiv, status report.
Let's see, what does he have? He knows his ship. So Jiv, he's conferring with Ren, and Ren, you hear Ren look up at him and goes, I don't think so. And Jiv turns around and says, Captain, transport is going to be tricky. I think we can do it, though. but it's not going to be easy. There's a lot of interference in that atmosphere.
I'd imagine. What's going to help you do your job better? Proximity?
Proximity's not going to make much of a difference.
Okay.
There's really not a whole lot we can do unless we want to shunt some power into the transporter system.
We might have to, so just stand by on that. But keep me posted. Let us know if there's anything we can do to make your job easier.
Aye, Captain.
Okay. All right. Ensign,
all
any
those-
success on those hails? I mean, we have their location now at this point. Nothing?
Oh, right, yeah.
I'm like, what?
looking at
Oh
you.
God, I'm at the helm.
No.
Where am I?
Ensign, Ensign
she
not
opens
sage,
a
whatever,
channel.
Not sage.
Ensign not sage.
Yeah.
Channel opens. You can hear on the overhead in the speakers, basically here inside the bridge on the sound system. You actually hear. Ensign shakes his head. I'm sorry, Captain. There's so much interference in the upper atmosphere.
All right. It's the waiting that's killing me.
Talon, I need you to make a. Well, I was thinking about making this a little different, but we'll stick with reason and science as usual. And who wants to roll
Sally?
for Sally Ride? It's a sensors roll. So it'll be computers plus
Sensor
sensors.
is
Just trying
11
to pick up more
and what?
information from the.
Sensors what?
This is sensor science.
Okay.
I'm sorry, computer sensors.
Oh,
Sensors, computers.
wait.
Computers and sensors are both
Or
systems.
both
Oh, they're both systems.
yeah.
Oh, hold on
Probably
one second.
needed to
It should be sensors and science.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have the difficulty?
The difficulty is 2.
And then using
Reroll.
Sally Ride, doesn't it reduce the difficulty by 1?
I reduced it to
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was going to be 3.
One success from Sally.
Dos success.
Ooh, so 3 successes.
So
Okay.
we've gained 1 momentum.
Yeah.
And this thing you made Lieutenant Commander Talon do. A scan? What is this?
It was a scan.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was actually Sally Ride's passive sensors.
Okay.
For a brief instant, you see a window open up in the weather patterns down below. Her passive sensors are detecting, sort of like, think of it as like an advanced weather prediction system, like a super weatherman, so to speak. But you're actually able to see an incoming window.
Doppler 8 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're actually able to spot like a window that's opening up where communications could be possible for a brief moment of time, as well as transport.
Lieutenant Commander, something on your mind?
Yes, Captain. The weather patterns on this planet, I'm picking up a pattern. It is very tempestuous, but there seem to be opportunities, brief windows for communications and possibly transport.
Okay. Okay, good. Well, let's line up with whatever openings we have to try to talk to our crew people, and if need be, get ready to beam them out. Did you get that, Shiv? We might have some openings at some point.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
He swivels back over to the engineering op station where Ren is located. I am going to. What are you doing? Trying to signal me for something? Check my phone. I'm not.
Real
Are
smooth.
you trying to communicate in some way?
Yeah.
If
So
only
this
we
is-
had a way
this
to
is-
communicate.
So what we're doing
Still
right
third
now
base? What are you
is
trying to tell me?
we're using signals so that the audience doesn't know that the crew's waving at me and saying, "Don't interrupt the
About
game." But you
to
know.
light a fire. and
But
start-
I mean,
Nailing it.
there comes a point where I'm just like I don't get it. I have to be like, I'm sorry, guys. It'd be like in the middle of the Phantom of the Opera. He's like, I'm sorry, hold on. What note is that? I don't. Yes, that would be rad. Yes, as always, to answer the communications
fun thing.
channel that was
Eric's
just
the
opened
guy
up.
that goes to see Harvey and stands up halfway through. Where's the rabbit? What's going on?
Like that awful Family Guy episode where it's, hey, I want to see the gross half of your face. I want to see the gross half of your face so we can get out of here. So as you scan this planet for that opening, you detect you detect the host of After Trek.
Oh, great.
Pops up on sensors somehow.
Oh my
I have to
gosh,
remember to
looking
get super
fancy.
close.
Yeah.
Because I'm about to do Sidekick with Matt Myra, which airs at 9 p.m. Pacific on
Matt
Project
Myra.
Alpha.
That guy's awesome.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's the sidekick of that
I'm
one.
fine.
I don't like to do too much hosting. I'm sliding even closer. Where am I gonna go?
No,
Where
it's
am
okay.
go?
I get complaints all the time because
How does this work?
Prom photo.
this is
Yeah.
Oh, it is a prom photo.
it's like
It's
an
like-
Olin.
it's
This
like
is like an
those-
Olin Mills picture.
It's like
Yeah.
those brother
I
movies.
loved Olin Mills. I would go with a traditional green background. My mother would would never let me get lasers.
My mom was okay with it once, but she wouldn't let me do it again.
I just dropped by because I wanted to see how things were going on board the ship.
Not so good.
Not
There's no
great.
zombies.
Not so
We're
good.
not stranded on an ice planet, and I'm not surrounded by zombies, and they're not being stalked by some kind of mysterious scout
Zombies.
class thing.
They're not zombies. There's a medical
They're
explanation.
White
They're
Walkers.
White
Just
Walkers.
sitting
They're
there.
Now-
Klingon White
White
Walkers.
Walkers.
Specifically.
I don't know if this is canonical.
This is
100%.
canon.
No, it's not. This is the problem with having a crew that watches HBO.
I mean, maybe there's some hollow emitters aboard. Someone had a holodeck program go
Yeah.
rogue, and those are the White Walkers.
Somebody's been drinking a little too much Romulan ale.
Sure,
It
I'll
could
allow
be.
that.
Yeah.
I
That's
like to
illegal.
retcon
How dare
things.
you.
Someone's been spicing a little bit.
I like to retcon things into canon, guys.
Yeah.
Klingon
Zach-
White Walkers are now canon, so there's no need to retcon. It's
Zazert
already
left a little bit of
canon.
his Orion crime stash on board, and somebody got into it.
Guys, we haven't done our holodeck episode yet.
No, we
Not
haven't.
yet.
No,
Is that something, man? Is that something you would want to do, or are you? Do you
You
want to
know
do
how
something else?
my opinion on holodeck episodes is whoever drew the short straw in the writer's room had to write that.
All right, I'll put
I'm
Mark
trying to
Twain
think
in
of a
this
good
one.
holodeck
Fistful of
episode.
Data.
Now,
They're memorable
okay.
ones,
Fistful
but
of Data is
Yeah,
one of my
Fistful of
favorite
Data.
episodes, just because I'm such a
You
big
are
fan.
insane.
I know.
That's
That's
a
it.
pile
That's
of
an act.
garbage. That episode is atrocious.
Really? I just love
Number
that Brett
one,
Spiner plays every character.
I'm sliding this way.
I
Number
hate
one,
it.
here's the
Fistful
problem
of
with
Data.
Fistful of Data.
Here we go.
From the second Deanna Troi says, "I love the ancient West,"
Okay.
I'm like, what are you thinking?
Okay,
Why is
okay.
it the ancient West?
It's 'cause it's
500
like-
years
I
ago.
love
It's like the
ancient
Old
West.
West, but it's even older.
Listen,
so.
I get that. But it's
It's
like
ancient.
to call it the ancient West.
Because
Yeah.
it's sci-fi. They have to make it like
I know.
super
I
futuristic.
know, but
Plus, they already had the set; they had to use it.
Although, let's be honest, seeing Brett Spiner dressed up in that gorgeous dress.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part.
Although I wanted to see a kiss. I know, like I know.
I will say that the Brent was not a terrible looking lady.
No,
No.
he's
They really
He's a phenomenal actor.
they
Brent
gave
is
him-
just not terrible looking in general. That guy.
Yeah.
He's a handsome
He's
guy.
got a. He's
It's
got
the
a.
cheekbones, you know.
It's the cheekbones and it's the nose.
And the
He's
s-
got a strong nose.
He's
Yeah.
striking features.
So
Yeah.
no holodeck episode for you. You want the episode where we go down and visit a planet that was still in its gangster phase. That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
you're right?
Oh.
I would love a piece of the action. If we could head down.
Okay, cool.
I'm
We were
way on board
already-
with that.
Okay, great.
Well,
See how
in
the
our
were they at the
1930s.
Oceans? Is that what they were?
What's that?
What was the name of the species in a piece
Oh,
of
I
the
don't
action?
know.
The
I feel like they were
Series.
the
It's
Iosians.
been so long since I've seen
I
that.
think there were
Is
the
that crazy?
Nazis.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, the Nazis.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this, and I'll go ahead and announce this, that right now, because we are planning on doing a very special episode of Shield of Tomorrow to raise money for Puerto Rico.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we talked about this today, but that looks like that one-off, it's going to be a very special one-off episode, and that looks like it's going to be our Mirror Universe episode.
Oh.
Everybody, get your
Are you
midterm.
kidding me? Oh my gosh, I'm so
That's
excited.
We're
where
going to
I'll-
do a Shield of Tomorrow Mirror Universe
I'll
episode.
shave. We have to. People.
And
You're gonna have to shave.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
else is gonna have to
It
It has,
go
been,
see.
Sleeveless.
it has been suggested that we just share a goatee around the table, and which I want to see Eliza with a goatee.
Yeah.
I look like my
have a-
brother
Who-
because I've seen it, and I look exactly
Who is
like
having
my
the
brother.
worst evening as far as the dice rolling is going?
We've had some.
know what?
Probably
That's
our
20s.
GM, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With your
it might be
220s,
me,
yeah.
actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, Eric
Yeah.
sucks.
220s.
Yeah, and I've been screwed, but I mean, it's been the NPCs that are on you guys' side. So
Yeah.
Yes,
it wasn't me
thanks.
sucking it; it's been them suffering for it.
And who's having the best evening as far as the dice rolling is concerned?
Probably Sage.
Yeah, you've
I
had
was
some
gonna
good
say,
ones.
Sage have been kicking some ass tonight. She's been
Sage.
like, rolling up a storm.
Sage, I'm gonna, because you're having the best night, I'm gonna present you with, this is a very tiny thing that I got at the Discovery premiere.
Oh!
Wow.
I'm gonna walk across
excited.
the no
Yeah.
break camera.
Crossing.
This is the insignia
Oh.
for Discovery.
Oh!
That's the,
That is perfect.
That's
I
great.
left it on my suit. And
She's
then
had
my
the
suit
worst
on and I-
night.
The
Yeah,
worst day.
Bonnie's had the worst night.
Resting now.
I was following
haven't
you on Twitter. Because like you, every Monday, what happens is
Yeah.
I do After Trek in New York,
Wow.
and then I get on a plane at 6 a.m. New York time, and then I fly to Los Angeles. And which way should I slide? We're never gonna sit right in the middle.
I know
of
it's a minefield of cameras.
No, I'll just go right here.
Yeah.
So what happens is I
Just
fly
like
in
talking.
to LA. I land at about 8:30 in the morning, and then I drive to Sony to go work on the Goldbergs, and then I leave the Goldbergs at like 6:30, and I drive here to make Sidekick with Matt.
Yikes.
A lot of caffeine.
Yeah.
I like by the way, I was upset you guys drank most of the coffee, so there's a new pot going.
We should always have a drink spot
Courtney.
for
So
men.
why is there a Galaxy class outline on it?
You know, I don't. It's a very
It's all
generic
that
style.
comes with it?
Yeah, it's very generic styled sheet. I was actually
There's
just thinking.
also-
I was actually just thinking today. What we should do is we should commission to get a Sally Ride specific character sheet made for her, so we have that rad
Anybody
stamp.
out there wants to make a specific Sally Ride Intrepid class sheet here?
That would
Maybe
be
some
rad.
updated color schemes on this L card display on your Okutagrams.
How many is that? Is anybody keeping track?
Really-
That's two. Two snort laughs.
I'm in a delirious
So
state.
how many buses did you ride?
Well, one broke down for
Yeah,
4 hours
saw
on the side
that,
of the
yeah.
street. So another one came and picked us up.
Yeah.
Then I gave up on the buses, went to another airport, flew to Houston, then flew to Vegas because I couldn't get to LAX, and then gave up on getting a flight
And drove.
to there and just rented a car and drove 4 or 5 hours.
I could not have.
And then came straight here and was like, "Hey guys,
You did it.
kiss
When you
anyone
were
out?"
in a crashed
Can we
shuttle
Star
having
Trek
to
now?
walk across
Yeah.
a mile and a half
Yeah.
of tundra just to complete that.
So
Yeah.
basically, I was going into one crisis into another. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
ready. Nothing.
But it's an M-class planet, right? You're gonna be okay.
Okay,
K class.
Oh, it's
But they've got enviro suits.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
We're as
good.
cold as ice.
Well, I hope your power supply is gonna last. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
Ah.
Okay.
just reward myself
this
for
one
Brett.
took his gravitational boots off and tried to like
Use the thrusters to
MacGyver
ski across
slide
the
into the
landscape.
thing and just like
That's a pretty good idea.
yeah.
I'm just- I have
he
no
even fell
Face
over and
plant.
skidded
Yeah.
across the ice.
I'm bad at
Had you
Myra
rolled
is
better,
humoring
would it
us
have
right
worked?
now.
Yes.
It would have worked.
Yeah,
Okay.
it could
All right. Well,
Would it though? Would it?
Was it a good idea? Was it a good idea though?
I just had to run after him.
try.
Speaking of anti-grav boots, if someone could explain to me why in Star Trek V the Enterprise turbolift corridor has 83 decks, please get back to me. Tweet me at MattMyra, MattMyra, with that answer. And if your answer is because that movie is not canon, you're correct. Cybok.
Shots fired.
Sorry, buddy.
No Star Trek 5, no holodeck episode.
No Star Trek
I'm
5.
learning a
No.
lot.
Okay.
Matt, I got a
Okay,
question
I'm a
for
man
you.
of
There were some great
specific
moments
Star
in that
Trek
movie,
taste.
though.
Matt, I got a question for you
yes.
concerning canon.
Please.
Where do you fall on the animated series?
It's canonical for me, mostly
Oh.
because of all the voices that were happening and the writing that was going on.
In
And
the
on
first-
Memory
technically
Alpha, it's treated
first-
as canon.
Yep.
Yeah, and the first appearance of the holodeck, kind of technically.
Yeah, fun, exciting moment for me. I got to duck down now. I am on Memory Alpha. I have a Memory Alpha page.
Hey, man.
Matt Myra,
Wow.
host of After Trek.
That's
so
awesome.
How does that feel?
It feels weird.
Is it good?
I wish it would just say next to it human and whether
Yeah,
it's
like
alive or
birth
deceased.
date.
Yeah. Well, we'll figure that out.
Planet of
but
origin.
guys, one day when I have time, I would love to come.
That would be
play.
rad. It would be
Please
totally
do
rad
that.
to have you play.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll
Trekkie's
up
welcome.
a sweet character. He's
Yeah.
probably gonna be a little curmudgeon, but probably Andorian. We're gonna do it.
Show
Yeah.
like right now.
I'm on a show.
What, yeah.
I actually
What's
do
that?
have to go.
Waving to you on the
I
side,
actually
like
do have to go.
Producers are off
Sorry.
camera just going,
I'll keep you.
Yeah.
Sorry. Thank you.
Thanks for
roll-
stopping
roll
in.
well, my friends.
Thank you.
Good luck in the planet. I hope you get there. Heads
Thanks.
up. You're in a Intrepid class ship. They can land and rescue you. I gotta go.
Yay.
yeah, but I'm the helm.
where we're
I'm not
getting
up there
to.
landing it. That's the problem.
Fly it right.
I don't know, man.
Bye!
I feel like we can use the house rule of like Mira's blessing to like reroll.
Mira's blessing. That sounds like a D&D term, doesn't
Right?
it?
Yeah.
The Church of Mira. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna.
I feel
have
like I made him
double-
leave. I just was gonna make a comment about him being busy, and then was like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah, yeah.
I'm looking off camera because we're being
Now we all move.
Now we have to be
We're all
the president.
But you said that, Amy. I looked over, and his producer was like,
All right, so let's go ahead and jump back in. Wow, that's great.
Really
That's
today.
awesome. That's really cool. You got
Yes,
that. That's from the Discovery premiere. That's so
Oh,
rad.
so
You've got
cool.
a
I
piece
know
of Star
that
Trek
you guys
history.
can't hear us on this one, but maybe this little guy can.
Yeah,
Hello?
that's
Yeah,
back
try
up.
it.
Back up.
Are you talking to the past?
I'm using the past
Oh,
to connect
I
with
love
my
that.
future.
Ooh.
Okay.
Very Bajoran.
I'm a fortune cookie.
Yeah, it is.
It's very TBD.
Yeah.
Yep.
I sent Amy on a Fields train. All right. So where we last left off, back from our second break, you had
was
just scanned. You just found that window. What was that?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Terrible joke.
You just.
Reverse.
I'm gaining a threat for that joke.
Oh no!
Amy,
No,
don't
not
say
really.
the joke.
I didn't even hear it.
I didn't hear it
I
either.
said that was a trip to the Mirrorverse.
Oh, that's pretty good. I should give you momentum for that one.
Yeah.
Yes, you see that window opening in the upper atmosphere. You do have a window to transport down or communicate down in the next 30 seconds. It's going to open up.
In the next 30 seconds?
It's going to open in the next 30 seconds, but
Oh,
it'll be
okay.
sustained much longer
Okay.
than that. Yeah.
Okay, great. All right. Ensign Not Sage, fingers at the ready for when that window happens. I want to communicate with them. I want to open up our hailing frequencies. I want to get to our crew people. And if they need us to come down and help them, we can land the ship. I don't know if you heard that, Lieutenant Commander Long. We can land it. So
Heard from who?
I don't know what you're talking about. So
I
just in
knew that
case.
already, but
Yes.
did you hear a voice, Captain?
Uh-oh.
All the time.
We should get that checked by the doctor.
It's more like an inspirational voice is what I hear.
You mean metaphorically?
Yes, thank you. Metaphor.
So
So now we're waiting. We play the waiting game. 30 seconds. Waiting for that
All right.
window to open.
You missed the window with that banter.
How long has it been? I was
Banter.
stalling
Oh,
just
there
now, Talon. I was stalling, and it's been 30 seconds now.
So we're going to cut back to the medbay, where Jacques is creepily staring through the windows at you guys with an expressionless face.
And is the hot chair having any effect on Farmer?
Well, remember, in the time span of things that are happening, this has only just happened. So as the heat waves are permeating through, you're starting to read the transporter readings. You're looking around the room and you've spotted him. So we're picking up right after you've spotted him, and he is still just standing there. The best way to describe it for us people sitting in this room right now who understand these references is he's standing there like a creepy child stands in a horror movie outside of a window.
That's what I was
He's got
picturing.
a sort of yeah.
Oh.
He's standing there with his arms dropped to the side. He's looking dead ahead at all of you. He hasn't said anything or made any action, and he hasn't blinked at all.
Is
He's
this a new
just
scene? Have
staring
we
at all
lost
of you.
momentum, or is this the same?
What's
scene?
that? No, go ahead and keep momentum.
No, it's not a commercial break.
So yeah, go ahead and keep him momentum. But that's what he's doing, and Rue has followed your eye line.
Was there
and-
anything in the doctor's notes about unusual behavior with the onset of infection?
No. No, the only thing that happens is by the time he had learned how to detect that an infection was possible, the patient had already slipped into a coma at that point.
And Penusian was lucid up until he wasn't
Yeah.
conscious.
When he was aware that the infection was taking over his body, he knew he only had a specific amount of time. He had that moment, but there was no behavioral changes.
Just gonna nod at a Jack and go back to scanning.
Rue's instinct.
I have a feeling we have different priorities at the moment.
Commander Rue, this should tell you something. In a room full of bodies that are sitting up, Commander Rue does not take their eyes off of him and continues to stare at the window, right back at him with the same glance. And if you had the opportunity to stare at Rue long enough, you'd often wonder if they too are not blinking as they're staring back at this Klingon. Because I know Sam, Rue's going to try to intimidate this
Insight.
Klingon.
Oh, okay.
Because I know Sam. So let's see.
You really do, man. It's creepy.
Should have seen him play you.
I did.
Yeah.
It was all right.
Are you guys okay with spinning momentum here?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
Anything for Rue.
Yeah.
Set that. Okay.
I would do anything for Rue. But I won't do. I don't know.
No, it's pretty much all on
Yeah,
the
I'll do everything.
Okay.
Yep.
So gain a momentum.
Yes.
Nicely done, Commander.
There's no reaction from the Klingon. None. Indeed, you see Rue start to realize. Doctor? May I suggest locking the sickbay door?
From the inside.
All right.
Move slowly, they say.
But I need to keep scanning. I could still learn.
Scan in a minute.
Great.
And Rue begins to shift closer to the sickbay door. And as Rue begins to slowly shift towards the sickbay door, you watch as Jacques turn and slowly start walking towards the sickbay door, not taking his eyes off of Rue. And the two of them, it resembles sort of a samurai showdown where they're two just staring at each other, walking almost in unison approaching the same point. And as you're moving closer to the computer, you see his eyes slide over to you for a second. And when they do, the moment he takes his eyes off Rue for a second, Rue bounds, one crutch, launches up and propels himself towards the sickbay door. He launches himself towards the sickbay door, and you see his face get animated for a split second. It's almost feral as he charges up to the door. Rue smacks into the side of the door with the crutch and goes, beep! You hear like a sharp beeping sound as you see a red light come on above the door, and it locks. And Rue just sits there and waits and watches. And you hear a thunderous smashing sound against the sickbay door. Then you hear scraping sounds like he's trying to get through the metal itself.
Excuse me? Hello?
All you hear is the animalistic noises, and then very abruptly it just stops.
Can I see outside at all, or is it just noises outside the door?
No,
Okay.
I mean, you can't see really the door. If you press yourself up against the window, you might be able to see him standing in front of the door. But as you move over there, a crutch intercepts you. And Rue, just looking, says, "Stay away from the glass."
My concern has shifted somewhat to the living.
Mine too. Get your scan, quickly. I'll watch the door.
Alright.
Maybe we can figure out what's causing him to do this.
I can't blood test him through that door.
I'll give you some blood to test.
But we still do not have the infection is transmitted. Rue, be careful.
I'll be careful. You moving back over? Go ahead and make your scan.
And this is, I had begun, I think, to work last time on the idea of analyzing this bacteria to create a preventative cap kind of.
Right.
Yeah, that was the whole purpose of cooling the room, if I remember correctly. You were trying to find out how to mitigate and stop.
I was trying to slow it down while we prepared that.
Okay, so go ahead
did the
and
opposite.
make your reason medicine check. Difficulty here is going to be a whopping 4
Jesus.
for what you're trying to pull. You're trying to get a stopgap, right? You're trying to figure out where is a point where you can stop this virus from...
Sure, or what shape does the bacteria have so that I could develop something that I could quickly, like, replicate?
Okay, yeah,
that would...
difficulty 4.
Okay. Yes, please.
Using a momentum, we were down to 2.
All right.
2 momentum.
Welcome to Amy Spends All the Momentum Time.
Yeah, that's right. You deserve it.
You're zombies.
You know what? But think of all the story points you never spent in Doctor Who. Like, really, those are all spent by everybody else. So this is your time to shine. Amy.
Also zombies.
Also zombies.
Yeah, also zombies.
They're not
Come on.
zombies.
Yeah.
This is a science show. They're zombies.
Sure.
Plus, they never call them zombies in the zombie show.
They do.
That's true.
something else.
Walkers,
Yeah.
the dead.
We're gonna call them
all right.
smelly dead Klingons.
Oh, we'll call them zombies in this world.
Undead.
I'm trying to remember, because that was Sam's insight last week was like there's a real life condition called fibrodysplasic ossificans progressiva or something like that.
Wow, yeah.
Some version of that.
Yeah.
I was impressed that Sam, of course, was able to spit that out the way they did, but I'm even more impressed
That
that
you
you not only
remembered that.
remembered that, but probably got it right.
Well, I was trying to memorize it in case we could use it, but then, like, we have to work out our personal balance of, like, it's so exciting because Sam
Yeah.
knows a lot of shit that I don't know that my doctor should know.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Reason science?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, it's medicine.
I mean, so I meant.
Thank you. Much better.
Yeah, reason medicine. Good. That's what I meant to say, obviously.
Let's do this.
Okay.
What is the difference?
And focuses.
Infectious diseases.
Yes, that
Okay.
will apply.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4 successes.
Ooh.
Okay. Because of your skill in infectious diseases, and you're able to sort of follow, your knowledge is sort of leading you into conclusion, into theoretical areas at this point, because you're watching this bacteria behave in ways you've never seen before. And you're starting to become more and more convinced that it's not bacteria.
Well, it's as
It's
Sam
definitely-
also pointed out, it's thermodynamically suspicious that it became more active in a colder temperature. but
It's
that
yeah, it
definitely
should be
tells us something
impossible. Of
about
course,
it.
this is science fiction, but it should be impossible.
Hey, I've never been to an ice planet.
Yeah. So, whatever this is, though, it seems to become more stimulated by the cold environment. It looks like what happens is whatever is inserted into the body gestates there for a while. for whatever purpose you don't know, because it doesn't seem to cause any other damage except for solidifying within the bloodstream of the host, killing the host effectively. When that happens, it goes dormant. When the temperature seems to drop, it becomes a little more animated. So at this temperature, you're watching the heat waving off of the chair, you're watching it start to solidify again. Except for when it does, the Klingon is not sitting back down. You're not seeing a reaction because it looks like the Klingon stiffens even more and comes to a dead stop. Here's something else with 4 successes I'll give you. You're seeing a reaction from the body bags as well. You see a little bit of shifting, kind of like wavering. They're not moving per se, they're not getting up or laying back down, but you do see almost like there's a fluctuation in the way the disease has injected itself into the musculature to cause an almost minor spasm where they kind of just sway a little bit.
As if it's connected to the one that I'm heating.
Possibly. You'd have to start burning momentum if you want to know more.
Do we gain any momentum from that roll?
No.
I just hit the
Nope,
level.
just hit the level.
It was
It
4
was a
successes.
nasty difficulty level.
4
Yeah.
difficulty, yeah. We can spend another momentum, you said right now, just to gain more information.
To ask questions, yes. If you
Doctor?
ever want to know more information, because Starfleet
call.
officers always
I
know
mean,
everything.
zombies, guys.
Yeah.
This is important.
We are
Okay.
down to 1 momentum.
Okay, so what would you like to know?
My primary... I would like to know, the nature of the reaction in the other bodies and whether it tells me anything about the method of communication or about
They're
the...
linked for sure.
Okay.
And if you didn't know any better, it would denote some kind of life form that's linked to a hive-like state.
I'm reminded of Plant Face's cave.
Which leads you to further start to suspect that the violent reaction of the Klingon Ajak outside the door is somehow linked to this, specifically because he is not here with a mob of people. He's not here with a mob of people, and his behavior, your scientific mind, it's just too much of a coincidence that all of this is happening all at once.
Commander Rue, you're not going to like this suggestion, but I think we'd better let him in.
I'm trying to do the Sam eyebrows.
Yeah.
What?
Do you think you could maybe let him in and then perhaps put him to sleep?
Yes.
I think he's part of it. It's part of him. They're all connected. To solve this, I think we can still save him, but I don't think he's gonna stop trying to get in here.
Stand against the farthest wall.
Right.
Rude. Here. They toss you their phaser.
Okay.
If he knocks me clear, shoot. Otherwise, just hold off.
Got it.
Sam, you see Root brings that crutch up and is about to deactivate the door, and all of a sudden you hear Sally Ride to away team coming through your communicator.
I do
Come in,
not
away
drop
team.
the phaser, but I nearly do.
Yeah, Rue just goes, "This is Commander Rue." You guys hear that on the bridge.
Oh, Rue, are you all right? Do you require assistance? You've been off the grid.
Captain, we have a bit of a situation down here, and it takes way too much time to explain.
Okay.
But we do have Starfleet personnel down here that are in danger.
Do you require an emergency evacuation?
We're still trying to ascertain the specific nature of what this emergency is going to require, but right now the colony is in a state of failure, and if it fails, 300 Klingon lives are in risk. I'm not as concerned about that as I am some of our officers who have gone off to discover the location of, or the whereabouts of what is happening on the environmental control station that's located 10 kilometers from here. Could the Sally Ride scan and figure out where they are, what their status is?
Yes, we're doing that now. I don't know how long of a window we have right now to be able to communicate, Commander. Worst case scenario, do you need to give us an evacuation point and time for where we can come and pick you up, or try to beam you out if possible?
Commander, I cannot recommend beaming us out until we are certain of the nature of this infection and our ability to prevent it spreading.
Understood, Doctor.
In which case, Captain, I would recommend beaming us all into quarantine if we need to evacuate immediately.
Of course. Lieutenant Commander,
Yes.
did you get a scan on that Klingon?
Go ahead and make a roll.
Difficulty.
Difficulty is 4, reduced to 3. Because the Sally Ride is
Shall I?
awesome.
What is
so
it?
We're specifically
Sensors?
scanning for.
You're
the
scanning
shuttle, right?
for the shuttle.
Okay.
And the life forms at the station. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
What is Sally's sensors and?
Does anybody have Sally Ride's stats over there?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so it's gonna be computer and sensors.
Computers and sensors.
Sensors and those
Computers
are
and
both-
sensors are both.
I'm sorry, it's always gonna be sensors and science.
Got it. Great.
Yeah, anytime you're scanning for anything like this, it's gonna be sensors and science.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh!
Yes. Okay. Wait. Do I have any focus? Can I use a focus?
What focuses do you
I
have?
don't know if I can.
Ridiculous.
Technical expertise.
I have astrophysics, exoarchaeology, exoanthropology, xenobiology, stellar environmental anthropology, innovation with tools.
That is a
lot of
resounding no.
ologies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have 2 successes from
but I
Sally.
have 3.
5.
Three,
Five
okay.
successes.
5.
Okay,
What was the
that is a
difficulty?
The difficulty
4.
was 3. Yeah,
Oh,
Sally
3.
reduced
3.
it. Yeah, the Sally reduced it to 3. So go ahead and gain your momentum.
Woo!
You are detecting strong life signs from a Bajoran and a human. They are on the planet's surface, about 9.5 kilometers away from the colony, and moving towards what you can tell from the scan to be it looks like a terraforming platform of some kind, something that actually changes the atmosphere of the planet, a large facility that's actually capable of filtering out and changing weather patterns. You've seen this kind of technology on Earth, of course, because they use it all the time. But here it's much more rudimentary, it's a lot more base. It probably takes decades for it to actually change the overall weather pattern of a planet.
I'd like to call on my science officer, ask a question thing. If we use a momentum, I can ask a question.
Yeah.
How much time? Oh no, we already. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, we already used the momentum.
She can do
for
it
the roll.
automatically here.
Yeah, if
She
I
gets a
use
free
the
one
momentum
That's
for
right.
being science,
Or
and
actually
because
using
you're
it
at the
without
science station.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. How much time do we have for this weather pattern window if we want to do a transport? How much time do we have?
For them,
Yeah,
where
if
they're
we can
at,
get them.
it's probably gonna be another hour from where they are.
So the window's good for us right now, but it's not good for
That's
them?
right. The window's over the colony at the moment. It's
see.
not over
Oh, I
the
see.
crash site.
Okay.
Which,
So we have no. Once again, Sage has no idea what's going on.
by the way, I should include that you are detecting what looks like a downed Orion shuttle.
Yeah. Okay.
With
yeah.
limited power supply.
Captain, I do detect that the Orion shuttle has been incapacitated. We are getting life signs for a Bajoran and a human, which I am sure that the Bajoran is our Lark Sage. We need to figure out I need to do some science here to figure out when I can.
Well, it's
when
a
we
good
can
thing you're on
potentially
this ship,
transport.
Talon. Sure. Okay. All right.
When we can transport.
When
over
we can
that
hail
area.
them and transport them.
So I'd like to do a scan for the weather
Okay.
patterns. Can I do that? Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know what? If you want to spend a momentum,
Okay.
I'll give you the information.
Great.
All right, so it'll be in the next hour for sure. There's going to be a window that's going to be open. In fact, in the next hour, there'll be a stretch of weather. There'll be an opening in the weather pattern that will stretch about 35 miles, and it's big enough.
You get both.
You'll be able to.
Scoop.
It'll open up for both the colony and the facility easily.
Great.
I want to relay all of that information to our away team
Okay.
to let them know that we are on standby. They have about 35 minutes, you said?
Yeah.
35 minutes where we can get a window where we can hail and beam them both.
Well, no,
Wait,
I'm
no.
sorry. The window will be. It
In
doesn't
about
show
an hour.
An hour. Yes.
We'll have a 35-mile range
Right.
to be able to get everybody at once.
Correct.
So,
Ensign Sage is walking?
yes.
Oh. We sent them in a shuttle to evacuate.
It seems as if they're fine, right, Lieutenant Commander?
They are alive.
They are
According
alive.
to with those sensor scans, they both appear to
Fine
be in
has
good
variable
health.
definitions, according
Actually,
to
with those
Vulcan,
sensor
so-
scans, with that kind of a sensor scan, I can tell you that they both seem to be in good health. Ensign Sage heart might be elevated. You're detecting a little bit more.
I guess the Rue and I simultaneously go,
This-
I should have gone with them.
You're mostly the sensors are feeding you back information that you're reading from their suits.
Okay.
Because that's giving you a little bit of a stronger reading as to what's going on. Plus, Starfleet suits are actually designed to sort of ping when they're being connected to by Starfleet vessels. So you're able to detect that they're both in reasonably good health.
Oh, I wish they would have pinged when the lieutenant decided to skin across the ice. Like, what's happening?
Oh, I don't- It's like a
it
punch
seems
card
like
of I'm okay.
From our
I'm
readings,
not okay.
Doctor, they're both fine. They're in their environmental suits, and other than one of the suits being a little bit depleted of its rocket boosts, their thrusters, other than that, they seem fine and in good health. We're just concerned about you and the team right now. So, what exactly is it that's going on? Where are you? Are you all right? Okay.
We'll get back to you.
All right, you've got an hour. We're here, so let us know. Okay.
Static overtakes the comm system. Rue looks like they stopped listening and is staring at the door. Because, like Rue, you're suddenly beginning to realize you haven't heard anything from the other side of the door since that conversation began. And they've lowered the crutch and they're kind of leaning closer towards the window.
Are you ready, Commander?
Wait. And they move over to the window and look out. Kind of press their face against it, see if they can get a better angle. He's not there.
Is he on the floor? Has he reached the coma stage?
I don't see
Are
him.
we too late?
I don't see him.
Where did he go?
Cut to. 1 second. Hey, Talon.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you the difficulty on this, but I need you to make a reason science roll using the Sally Ride sensor suite. So who wants to?
Should we do a momentum?
Yeah.
This is a rare instance in which I'm not telling you the difficulty.
Kinda
We are
scary.
down to 0 momentum.
In fact, this is the first time I've ever done this.
On purpose.
It's still on level shade.
And I'm gonna. Hello, threat.
That is.
Oh, come on. That was
the whole bag.
That was a great sass.
It is a great
I
sass.
should
And
get
I
a
appreciate the
momentum
threat.
if
I
it-
really do.
I was stating a logical fact. That
All right.
is-
Okay.
You got one from Sally.
I got 3.
3
so
successes.
4
Okay.
total.
Four
Four.
total.
Okay. 4 total?
Yes.
Okay. 1 second. Okay. So Jiv manages to gasp and shout at about the same time the Sally Ride is hit. You hear the sensors immediately start going off like an alert system, and Jiv swivels around from the engineering section and goes, "Captain, starboard!" And then the Sally Ride gets smacked, a good one, and the ship automatically goes up to red alert. As
Shields are down. Oh. Poop.
I wasn't heading into a Klingon-controlled planet with shields up. I wasn't
Ship
going to do
shake.
that.
I know. Yeah, I'm not here.
okay,
It was my inner thought.
And this is my inner thought.
Sorry.
As I'm like,
the Sally Ride rocks suddenly, and you're all kind of thrust forward for a second as the alarms blare. Jiv grabs hold of the side of the bridge. You've never felt Sally buck like that before. You were struck just now. And you see coming up on a tactical display on the view screen, just starboard side of Sally Ride is a Burrell-class bird of prey that is decloaked. Her wings are folded down, and she is charged and ready for battle. It takes a few moments, but Jiv goes, he's like, assessing damage.
status report, Shiv.
Glancing below, Captain. They didn't penetrate the hull. It looks like it was a warning shot.
Any casualties?
Casualty reports, none. An ensign on deck 6 bumped their head. Looks like everything's fine.
All right, open up.
Right when you say open up, the ensign swivels and says, "Captain, we're being hailed."
Fantastic.
And
Put it through. Put it through. Put it on screen. Main screen.
appearing on the view screen, you see a Klingon woman with a shaved head and full armor. She as Klingons go, she has a pretty strong-looking crest that kind of arcs back over the top of a skull. She's broad. Looks like this woman. She would be, if she was on Earth, she would be a power weight like Olympic lifter. She's looks like she's the type of person. Think Zarya from Overwatch. Yeah. She's big. She's like ready to like strap down and beat the crap out of somebody big.
Okay, I get it.
She is huge. She is so big. No, but this is a very strong looking Klingon woman, and she's decked out in full armor, like of a warrior. As she appears on screen, she immediately sneers at the sight of you and says, "This is the IKS Bahwi. Why are you in Klingon space?"
This is Captain Rafael Martinez of the USS Enterprise. I appreciate the warning shot. Next time, a hailing would have done the job. The reason we're here, I'll put it simply, it's a rescue mission. Apparently, there are some Federation citizens that required some assistance, and I'm learning intel that there may be some Klingons that do as well. Who am I speaking with?
I am Captain Komak, daughter of Loshto. Why are Federation citizens on a Klingon world?
Captain, it is not an ideal situation. Like I said, this is an emergency situation. If you or any Klingons on this planet require any assistance, even though this is Klingon space, we are here to provide that assistance. Once we have our crew people, our orders are to leave this sector immediately.
Your orders were to travel through the safety corridor, Sally Ride.
I understand that, Captain, and they changed. Like I said, this is an emergency situation. We have people down there that may be dying or dead. We want to get them off of this planet, and at the same time, we want to make sure that we can help any Klingons if they require help. I apologize for any intrusion. The Federation and myself in this ship meant no offense. Again, apologies. And again, really appreciate the warning shot, Captain. We mean no disrespect by being here. I just want to get my people and get out.
Stand by. Communication cuts off.
I think that went rather well, all things considered, right? Not Sage? What did you think of that?
Her name
ensign
is Ensign Hart.
Hart. I knew that, Ensign Hart. I'm just razzing you, Hart. You're doing a great
Shiv just
job.
goes, I mean, I want to hate Klingons sometimes, but I get it.
Is everybody all right here on the bridge? Everybody okay? Status report?
Ren goes, oh, I'm fine. Everything's okay. Shields are up now.
With the little button things.
Yeah. Yep. Ren looks like she's overcompensating. Ren looks like she's trying to show you just how fucking cool under fire she is, and she is not. She is just like, I'm great. This is totally fine, Captain. Jiv just puts a hand on her shoulder and says, we're good. No damage coming in. They fired disruptors just underneath our deflector dish. They could have hit us pretty hard if they wanted to.
I know.
Actually, Captain, my guess is the fact that you came in here with shields lowered is why they didn't shoot at us directly.
I had a feeling. And like I said a second ago, I think that honestly went pretty well. It could have gone a lot worse.
Could have gone a lot worse.
This Captain Comac might be interested in letting us help, if we can.
Captain, I find it interesting that this captain did not know about this colony.
You know what I found interesting? She acted like she didn't know who the hell we were. Then she called us the Sally Ride like she knew who we were, and then she mentioned that we were supposed to be on the safety corridor.
Oh yeah, no.
After she asked what we were doing in Klingon space.
Yet she does not supposedly know that there is a colony here?
Well, Talon, I don't ever explicitly remember her saying that she didn't have any knowledge of this colony. She might be protecting this. Which doesn't make me feel good about any of this. We've got people down there, and I don't know what they're going through.
It's
or what
fine.
the Klingons are up to.
Cut to our ensign and lieutenant trekking across ice. Your environmental suits have been deflecting knives falling from the sky.
Oh no.
It has not been an easy journey. About a mile in this weather has been taking a lot of time.
Yeah.
But finally, you're able to see the way station up ahead clearing through the mist. Lieutenant Tristan, it's not in the shape that it was in the last time you saw it. It looks like a facility that has not been upkept. You've noticed that one of the things that this facility has around it that's constantly keeping it safe from shifting weather patterns is a shield system. It's not meant to stop projectiles, but it's at least designed to sort of deaden the blow of thousands upon thousands of ice shards smashing into what could be considered sensitive equipment, even though it's geared for terraforming and it's used to like all these rapid weather changing patterns and environmental hazards. It looks like this facility probably has lost most of its protection. It's not damaged, but it looks like it's been weathering a lot of what the planet's been throwing at it. It doesn't have that sheen it used to have as you're approaching. But you do see the walkways leading up to the side. It looks like it's built into the side of what looks like an ice cliff. And essentially it looks very much like an oval-shaped tower. So, but it's sort of shaped outwards. Do you know what I mean? It's about 30 stories high. So you can't actually see the top of it. There's very few windows in here. This place looks like almost a giant obelisk kind of reaching into the mist above your heads. Very ominous looking, but you do see like all the warning like stand clears and all the like in Klingon you see all like the painted like signs. You see that it's the signifier that it is the station, the environmental station up ahead. And you also see markers. Light beacons out front, which are working, but they run on their own power, so it's not that surprising. But it's almost like it's designating a safe path leading up to the place, and you can see it flashing like siren lights in the mist as you all are approaching. So you've arrived.
So we're in the home stretch, Lark. We just have to follow these lights, and then we're in the clear.
Great. This place looks very welcoming.
I am going to have you. 1 second. This is just going to be for, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say that this journey has taken 1 stress off of your track.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of track.
Yeah. But walking through even with your environmental suits kind of regulating everything that's going on, yeah, this was not fun.
Easy. No, it wasn't. I need a cream soda.
The temperature near the facility also is the same as it is in the surrounding areas, kind of confirming to you, Tristan, that this facility has in fact been deactivated for some time. There's no
more than a month
atmospheric changes at all. Yeah, but well, no, probably about a month. Probably at the same time that you lost contact.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go up and try to activate the. I guess it would be an airlock type of situation.
Yeah, both of you approaching it. You scrape ice off this panel that's kind of formed. It takes you a second to sort of pop it open and some ice shards fly off. But as the metallurgy of this place is built, it's actually designed to sort of withstand freezing effects as well as magma displacements and whatnot. You pop it open and see the console on the inside. It's an analog system to open the door. You pull it out, put it in, and you see the door just go kind of crack open a little bit. And you see just like this smoke almost come out. The door looks like it can be opened, but the two of you are probably going to have to
pry it open.
Fitness roll this thing open.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
Oh, God. So who wants to take lead on it, and then the other person can assist?
Can we share our scores? Is that now? Okay, I have a fitness 7.
Me too.
Oh, cool. I'll take lead.
Oh,
because I'm used to
so cute.
Security or
This is, what's that?
engineering
Fitness
or
what?
security?
This is going to be fitness security.
So what's your securities?
2.
Twinsies!
Oh, no, the library bards are weak.
Let's team up together. That's a fitness of 14.
That's true.
I love how weak the...
We're the library. Let's open the door.
Maybe you can sing it open.
Yeah.
Chant together. Just follow me. It's
We'll just have to use our brains if we can't.
That's right. So I'm assisting, so I only do 1, correct?
You're only going to do 1. The difficulty here is only 1, though.
Oh,
1. Okay.
we have a chance.
Yay!
So go ahead and
Target
make your
9.
rolls. You versus the door.
Yeah. I got a 3 and a 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you roll a complication?
I rolled a 17, so I probably grabbed onto the door and just
All right.
flipped off.
So this is what happens. So Sage, as as you see Tristan gets a good grip on it, and as he starts to pull open the door, he's like, I got it. You just like, you get it, and he starts wiggling close, and you realize yours is just jammed, but it's responding to his side. So you just kind of like,
I loosened it for you.
We got it.
So you kind of do that thing where like you're helping somebody
pickle.
move something, but they've clearly got it, but you don't want to feel like an asshole, so you just kind of look like you're carrying it with them. You and
we're all in this together.
the door slides open.
You're doing great.
Friendship powers activate.
I'm doing so much work over here, I swear.
You're able to pull it open enough where light beams in from the outside, and you can both slide in.
Yeah.
So lights are on.
No,
the light
in
from
the
the
area,
outside.
the airlock
light.
area that you guys are sliding into, there is no lights.
I got all excited. Well, we're inside now.
Yeah.
You see, there's a walkway. It's about 10 feet ahead of you in complete darkness. You see a couple of glowing lights from the panel up ahead, where the second doorway exits the airlock. I'll tell you right now, because of your engineering expertise, it's going to be a bitch opening that door when this one won't close.
Right. I was going to say, I'm going to try to close this door first.
Pulling it open was easy.
Right.
Trying to push that thing closed
Can I
is
see
going to
if
be...
the controls respond on the inside?
Sure. Let's go ahead and make an engineering. This is going to be...
Maybe I should take lead on that one.
I mean, yeah. You definitely should.
Hey, maybe we
Can you
should
take a look
to see
at
if
the-
yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Go ahead and make a reason engineering check.
And I'll assist, because I'm familiar with the facility.
Okay.
That's a good idea. You can,
yes,
yeah.
you are. You
and
have
I
been
don't
here.
I don't speak Klingon or read Klingon.
Right.
So all right, let's do it. Let's see
Reason
if we get
engineering?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, what was the target?
The target was 1.
1.
Damn,
Crit
another
success.
Yeah.
I got a crit too. And a success.
Library bards.
What was the
All right.
Total.
momentum?
So 4.
difficulty? What was
It was
the
1.
difficulty?
Difficulty was 1.
You got us 4 momentum closing a door.
We have the opposite
Thank
problem
you.
of Critical Role.
Yes.
We conquer doors.
Doors are our allies.
Yeah.
We've won them over.
So how do you want to do this?
So basically, I just push the button.
Okay.
It works.
From here, the environmental controls look like they're in much better shape. You're actually, the door goes, closes.
Well, that's promising.
It's a Klingon facility, so that it doesn't have the elegance of the Federation-style doors. It's very much just a chunk of metal slamming into each other.
me in between those doors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you see the green light go bing to the door on the inside.
Well, at least it looks like they have some kind of power, so that's promising.
I'm going to check the temperature on the suit to see what is it regulating at all, like in an airlock?
The airlock looks like it's lost the ability to regulate temperature. The temperature, however, on the inside is
Beyond the
registering
closed
on the
door?
airlock door. You can actually see. You can tell what the temperature is on the other side of the door. It's
So if we were to take, I'm worried about if we open this door, they're going to lose their environmental control because the airlock is not functioning like it should. It should be regulated now, and I don't want them to lose any more.
You have to do some more jury rigging to repair on this thing.
If there's anything you can do.
So I need to open up this panel and fix the environmental
temperature
controls
should-
in the airlock.
Yeah.
You basically need to get power into the environmental
Got
control
it.
system.
What is
Life
that?
support. That's the
It's
word
going to be just another straight up. Well, this one will be control engineering.
Yeah, but what's the difficulty?
And none of your, I don't believe any of your. Well, maybe. The difficulty here is going to be 3.
3? Okay. I'm gonna have jerry rigging, which is also technical improv. It's like that's what jerry rigging is basically.
That really did apply when you were. This is a repair, though.
Okay. I'm gonna take one of these if that's
Using
cool.
a phaser as a power source would definitely be jury rigging. Repairing a life
Can
support
he
system.
can he
not so much.
assist since he speaks Klingon and I don't know?
Oh,
Yes.
Which is great.
That's a good rationale to
Yeah.
assist. Yes, absolutely. You may assist.
I think I would be able to regulate this, but if you could just tell me exactly what each thing specifies, just I don't.
Sure.
I
So
don't read
Xander,
Klingon.
I'll let you make a reason science roll for this.
Reason science?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just point to whatever you need and I'll read it out.
that one.
So the difficulty.
Great.
So the difficulty is going to be 3 on this.
Okay.
So go ahead and make your check.
Okay.
Sage kind of hits the wall panel and it pops off, and you kind of slide it off to the
I'm
side.
just sticking my hands in all kinds of things.
I mean, you got to hand it to the Klingons. Their stuff may be crude looking, but it is actually quite efficient.
So none of my would computers work as a focus here?
No. Nope.
Well, I got 3 successes.
Okay.
I crit it!
Wow.
I'm real good at languages.
All right.
Did we max out?
So that's 2. We got 2 more momentum.
So
You watch suddenly as you hear this. As Sage's technical expertise, once again, you were able to reconnect the dots, and the power in here just goes. And you see the temperature regulating rapidly, like the numbers are just rising.
You never cease to amaze me, Ensign. You're a value to your ship.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Lieutenant.
You see
I blush a little bit. It's kind of cute.
Gross.
I don't know.
You watch as the temperature, it doesn't stabilize to like a comfortable temperature, but it does rise above 30 degrees Fahrenheit.
I think that's about as warm as I can get it, but in all honesty, it's probably not that much warmer on the other side either.
Let me put it this way. You're at a temperature now will not destabilize what the temperature is inside. Which, by the way, the temperature inside is about 45 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's cold inside.
It's still pretty cold
Let's
inside.
keep the suits on, but let's try to open this door.
Okay, just in case, because I don't know if there's anyone infected here either, so I'd like to keep my suit on too.
That makes
Resident
sense.
Evil, Star Trek.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you come to a hallway with windows, and it's very quiet suddenly.
Can I check in the windows?
Sure, a dog jumps through the window, scared the shit out of you. All right.
Tark?
Scared the hell out of me when I played
Right?
that game. The dog's
Where's the typewriter? I need the safe.
Okay, so opening the doors.
I want to check in the window, honestly.
Well, there actually is not a window inside
Oh.
the facility.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that was Eric still being
I
Resident
see.
Evil. Sorry. Yeah, I blended
okay.
our worlds there for a second.
That's what happens when our bits are too good. We're like,
Yeah.
no, but really?
No, but
I wanted
but
to
really?
check that thing we
What is a dog doing here?
Because I'm scared.
So, but the door will open just with the press of the button. You've got power back to it.
sure.
And you see light spill into a room that has nominal power. Immediately, what you see is a very large, darkened control room. This looks like an area where people probably sort of like a meet and greet area, but you do see tables in here and panels lining the walls, as well as a couple of shielded-looking windows that are closed. Also in the center of the room, you see the unmistakable figures of Klingons slumped over tables.
All right, I'm gonna activate like a flashlight, the light on it.
I'll do mine too.
Okay.
Because I see him and I'm like,
You see motes of like dust and whatnot floating through here. The corpses of Klingons are littering this area.
I'm gonna rush forward and start checking, like if I know them, checking to see if they look familiar.
is it obvious that they're dead? Like,
It's
or-
relatively, just looking how gaunt they look as they're slumped over the tables, it looked like they just dropped dead. The two of you are immediately feeling, the moment you're spotting these dead Klingons everywhere, especially you, Tristan, you detected 17 life forms before you arrived here. To see dead Klingons is raising more questions. But as you rush over and look at all the faces, you see some familiar faces, but not the one you were praying you were going to see. You weren't going to see.
And then I'm going to use the test again, to just on one of them to see if they react.
This Klingons, as you scan, go ahead and make your roll real quick.
Sure.
It's going to be this is a medicine roll, so this is going to be reason medicine.
Okay.
Difficulty is 1.
Okay. One success.
1 success. This Klingon has died as a result of starvation.
Okay.
A
These.
month without food. It looks like either the replicators went offline.
oh no.
It's really rare. This Klingon probably crawled over here and sat on the table and just waited.
How many are there in here?
There's 6. 6 Klingons in this room.
And they were not infected.
You're going down the line scanning all of them?
Right.
It looks like a few of them died from exposure.
I'll relay this information as I read it.
Which is not consistent with the fact that they're indoors in 40-degree temperatures.
So something must have happened.
There's an interesting story that must have taken place here. 2 of them have died from starvation, and the rest look like it was either from exposure. There is one, however, that has a completely solid circulatory system.
And they're still slumped over a table?
No, they're slumped against a wall.
Okay.
Which is really interesting because it looks like this Klingon wandered back towards a wall, leaned up against it, and just slumped down to the floor and died.
Are their eyes open or shut?
Their eyes are open.
Okay.
I don't understand. You said there was a team of 12 here. We read 17 life signs. There's 6 dead. Like, I know I'm not good at math, but I'm not that bad.
There was actually a team of 13 total Klingons here, and that's true. There were more life signs than the team that should be here. That means there's something else that's here.
A door opens.
I jump. And,
The two
and
of
I
you
reach
kind
for
of
my phaser that I don't have.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's a dead phaser at your side.
Yeah.
There is a figure standing, looming out of the shadows, with a light shining, almost like a lamp held up. It's kind of beaming into the room. Standing there, huge, imposing, covered in furs. It looks like a specter of death, just like lurking in the darkness. And it's a few moments for everyone's just stopped in dead silence as this thing lingers for a second, and then you hear, Tristan.
Kven?
Tristan. And he drops the lantern and rushes over to you and throws his arms around you.
I embrace him fully.
Okay.
And we're just...
As you're holding him, his body feels different. It feels gaunt. And he does not... You can feel some of the bone in his shoulder.
Yeah.
Like, he was a very healthy person last time you saw him. This time it seems like he's in a state of serious starvation. Like, his body is malnourished.
Kven, trade with me. I'm already taking the helmet off.
You take the helmet off. He wavers on his feet for a second. You see ice crystals have formed in the small mustache, the Klingon mustache that he has off on the side in the bit of the goatee. As you look into his eyes, they look cloudy. Probably also from malnourishment. Like, he's probably partially blind right now. Still knew it was you.
do we have like a safety packs though? Like, because I'm obviously
You have
a
emergency
med kit.
medical packs with you guys. I'm assuming
we don't
you
have
brought
like, but do we have like any food?
Yes,
we have, like,
you have
emergency
rations.
or like water or something.
In a medical pack, there's going to be emergency like nutrients
MRE.
and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you hand him the helmet, the weight, you're kind of like, it looks like the weight of just the fur cloak over him was trying enough, but as you give him the helmet, he falls on basically into you because he can't seem to support all of the weight.
I run over to help and give him some water because I have no idea who this person is, but I do because you mentioned.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You look
But I
at
don't
what
know.
looks like a young man of a Klingon, probably in his equivalent of what would be his early 30s. Would probably be very handsome for a Klingon if he wasn't so gaunt and his lips are cut and broken, chapped. He looks terrible.
Right.
He looks like he's in serious. He needs immediate medical attention.
Yeah.
As you hand him the water, you instinctively have to regulate how much he drinks all at once.
Right.
So you kind of hold it for him, and he takes a little bit. I thought I was going to die here.
We're here. We have you. You're not going to die.
There are no others.
There are no others?
All
How is
dead.
that possible?
We can talk about it later. We need to get you to safety. Is there anywhere in the facility that is still sustainable?
My quarters. I managed to transfer some of the remaining power to my quarters.
Can you make it?
I think I can make it.
Ensign, can you help?
Yes.
Let's take him.
He leans his head against you, like as you're helping him up. You've got to like pull him away from Tristan. There's a moment where it looks like he doesn't want to be pulled away, and he kind of leans against you a little bit more. But you manage to get him up to his feet.
I'm not saying anything, but I'm actually extremely suspicious because he just said there's no one else, and like so I'm like I know our sensors weren't that off. So
Okay.
Can I like scan? Can I do anything like?
Not while you're helping.
Yeah.
Like an insight?
Huh?
Insight?
Yeah, can I do an insight?
Do you want to see if he's lying?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make an insight check.
Ooh, I've never done this one. What do I
As
do?
Sandra's anxiety goes up.
He's perfect and always tells the truth.
Insight in what? Insight.
This is going to be insight and security,
Okay.
and it's a contested roll. The difficulty is 1.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
I'm not very insightful right now because obviously I'm in a very
Any complications?
no.
Okay. You don't feel like he's lying. He seems like he's in a desperate state.
Okay.
The only thing you're really getting from him is that he seems... He's carrying himself like someone who's... he thinks he's about to die. He looks like
Okay.
he is completely... He looks like somebody has given him a new lease.
Okay. Well, let's get him in his quarters
Let's get
and
to
let's
the
see what
quarters.
kind of.
I'm gonna read the text that I got from Sam.
Uh-oh.
Eric, I want to ship Rue and the Klingon captain. Bring her to me.
Oh.
Oh my!
Wow.
Well, I mean, she's not that far. She's just kind of floating around in space, looking down.
Hailing
Meanwhile-
frequencies open.
I'll see what I can do. I'll switch from my usual Kirk bravado and go straight to Zap Brannigan. See what can happen.
That's hysterical. All right, so let's get him in his quarters
Yeah.
and see. I want to see what kind of power he diverged there and what I can find in his room. Like what?
Okay. All right. So you, his quarters are not far from the main center. So as you move over, he's trying to fill you in. He's like, power went out some time ago. Don't know how long it's been.
It's okay. Save your energy. We need to get you somewhere where you can rest.
You feel the temperature actually kind of, as you reach what looks like his quarters area, you see a kind of increase in the temperature. When he opens the door, you see a wave of heat come out. It looks like he has himself jury-rigged a heating device in here using power packs that they were using
I'm
for the
impressed.
batteries. Yeah, it's
I'm
not
like-
bad. It's clearly an act of desperation. However,
Right.
these power packs look like they're on their last legs.
Right.
And this place is just... when you walk in here, it's a blistering 70 degrees.
What was the Klingon's name again? I'm so sorry.
Kevin.
Kevin.
In other words, it is livable in here. And the doors, he immediately closes the door and slumps.
Yeah. As soon as we set him down, I'm gonna take out the med kit and lay everything out. I'm not a medical doctor, but
There's
I
also
do
a
have,
stench in here.
sure. I'm used to that.
You see,
I'm just kidding.
well, it's the smell of death.
Yeah.
As you move in, you see a Targ that has been killed and is jammed up against the wall. It looks like its bones have been mostly picked.
Sure.
But there's still patches of fur and whatnot.
I'm gonna start spreading my kit out to and
Okay.
handing him the rations and anything else that I can kind of assess on what he needs.
We had no idea.
What happened?
It came out of the ice.
What did?
I don't know.
It?
It turned on us. Caused the others to turn on each other.
The disease?
It's not a disease. It's living. It's alive.
What does it look like? What is it?
I don't know. It spoke to us before it started killing.
What did it say?
You're killing us.
Here, eat.
He takes one of the nutrient bars and begins to eat. Cutting back to the medical bay,
Oh no.
you and Rue are suddenly startled as a Jacques has appeared once again in the window. And when I say appear and when I say startled, it's because he just smashed his head into the window. You see him take to the window again and smash it. You see a little pink, dark pink blood begin to form, and he smashes it again. He's either out of his fucking mind or this is not a Jacques doing this. It's like somebody who has completely lost contact with their body and is brutalizing it just to reach their objective. Rue looks at you and goes, Doctor, I'm opening it. They quickly move over to the control panel and say, ready?
That man needs our help.
Hits the control, and instinctively, as soon as the door goes, a Jacques stops and bolts towards the door. Runs in there at full speed like a feral animal and throws himself
Right at a crutch?
right at a crutch. When I say throws himself, I'm not using sort of that generic terminology that GMs we like to use of battle is beginning, and he literally leaves the ground. And what looks like a full-on body tackle launches himself into the air straight towards Rue. Rue looks like they knew it was coming just by the momentum this creature had the moment he charged into the doorway and was prepared for it. And we are now in combat. So,
Oh no, Doctor.
you're gonna have to excuse me because I'm gonna be doing some rolling back here.
Uh-oh.
Rue is gonna take initiative and is going to go ahead and, yes, could you
momentum,
subtract
yeah.
some momentum there for me?
Yep, we are down to 4.
Okay. Okay.
Cheat sheets.
Security. Okay. Spending threats. More dice rolling. What's happening? Ooh. Okay. Just write this down. So, this Klingon launches himself through the air. Rue, seeing this coming, leaps back with the crutch and then jams their crutch back into the ground to form what would be... Rue basically forms themselves into a stationary battering ram and jams that crutch back and then launches the other crutch forward. This crutch connects squarely with his face while he's launched towards them. But here's the problem. With that much strength and momentum, it's not enough to stop this Klingon in mid-fight. However, it does break their face. And you watch as this Klingon's nose crunches underneath Rue's crutch. Teeth cave into their mouths, and the jaw cracks down. It's a blow that should have dropped this Klingon. He collapses forward and hits the ground, and you see a smear of blood on the bulkhead. And then he goes.
Do we...
Rue's gonna actually spend spend 2 momentum. Rue's gonna keep the initiative once that they see that this Klingon didn't go down.
That's a very Rue thing to do.
Yeah. To 2 momentum.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Rue spins the die to keep the momentum. When Rue realizes that the way this Klingon impacts on the ground and the blood smear, the way the Jacques hits the ground, they're already moving again. Rue senses their opponent is not out and immediately lunges in and jams the crutch down right on the base of his skull, right on the back, enough to cause this Klingon's head to rebound off the ground. The Klingon does not break its momentum. You hear a small snapping sound from this crutch hitting the Klingon in the back of the head, and the Klingon whips up into a standing position, and you hear a sickening crunching noise. Doctor, being a physician, you know that that's undoubtedly the sound of a broken neck grinding against itself. The muscles are still allowing the head to move. A Jock should be either paralyzed or dead right now. Instead, he grabs Rue by the throat and lifts them off of the ground and proceeds to uppercut them in the chest. Holds Rue up and just slams a fist up into their chest. You hear the wind leaving Rue's lungs. And I'm spending threat.
Do the thingy.
To do when I assume
It's gonna be so Rue spent momentum to keep the initiative and got a hit, but he actually scored higher on the melee roll. So there's no actual damage done just now. When Rue hit with the back of the head, that was actually done earlier. When the crutch impacted, it was enough to actually crack. I mean, Rue did enough damage.
Have been using non-lethal force.
It was non-lethal. Yes, it was non-lethal.
But with it was his momentum probably that caused the
Let me connect the dots for you. His neck was probably already broken.
What, from him hitting his head into the window?
It's possible, yes. It's possible that he broke his neck doing something before this battle broke
Zombies, y'all.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Zombie's gonna zombie.
but he was actually able to counter Rue's second melee attack, which means in Star Trek, when you're in melee, it's a contested roll. Even though you initiate combat, if the other person wins, they get the hit. So combat is instantaneous in this game. He actually scored above Rue, which is considerable.
Yeah.
When you think about what these two people are rolling, and has managed to grapple Rue and punch them in the stomach. It's not going to be lethal damage to Rue, but Rue did take a significant hit. Doctor, you could fire that phaser right now. When he lifts Rue up and decks them in the stomach, he pulls back again, and what it looks like he's doing is kind of like pushing and pulling. So he's getting the most out of the force of this punch. You suspect Rue is probably probably got at least one broken rib from this attack.
Whatever I have to do to this phaser's on stun.
With holding Rue far enough away the way he is doing, you've actually got a clear shot at him. So if you want to make the roll, because you are firing into melee, however, I am going to spend 3 threat to raise the complication range.
Oof. And we got 2 momentum.
Yeah, which
So
can
if
use
you
as
roll
Much as you need.
an
guess just-
18, oh, it's a 17. If you roll a 17 or higher,
Oof.
you risk hitting Commander Rue. But you've got it set to stun.
Okay.
So I need you to make.
I have not fired a phaser in the course of this game.
Ooh.
Here we go.
Now on
Besides
my
at a chair.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, you had
the
good-
chair's rooting for me.
Sure.
So I know that turn order and all that. A minor action to aim. Do I have time for a minor action and my action?
Okay, Sam just corrected me. They get to keep action for free the first round with a quick action, so I'm going to give you guys back 2 momentum.
Oh,
Okay,
it's like
great.
they're
Oh,
healing
Yeah.
Sam. Sam.
So you're going to get that 2
us.
momentum
Sam, we
back.
need you.
I have a feeling if Sam were here, Sam might be spending the determination to keep it again, but I don't know if that's possible. There's a
You can
limit
only
on how
go
many times.
keep, and then it's their turn to keep if they
Okay.
want to. Then it's back to you keep. You can only do it in.
So technically, he hasn't taken his turn yet. Much as I hate to point that out.
No, I'm giving his action was his counterattack was grappling Rue, and his action was punching Rue in the stomach. He lifted Rue up off the ground, and then his second attack, I had Rue roll for security to try to block that hit, and did not go so well.
All right, my minor action is to aim, which
Okay.
means I'll be able to reroll a single d20 made on an attack before the start of my next turn, and then
That makes sense. You were aiming.
I'm going to attack, which I haven't printed out a cheat sheet for.
That's okay.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I can give it
A
to you.
lot about injuries, but not a lot about
So
causing them.
no, that's okay. I'll give it to you. So you're doing ranged attacks. So the difficulty it's
Hacksaw
control
Ridge
plus
over here.
security, and the difficulty is 2.
Do you? Oh, difficulties too. Do you
Yep.
want
Yes.
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 one, or we have enough for you to get a 4th?
Do you want 4 die?
So, a quick question: if I succeed at my phaser attack set on stun, is that likely? In an ordinary circumstance, would that, like, I don't need
Like
to
drop 'em.
stun you a bunch of times.
Right.
So I think.
No, if you try to stun somebody a bunch of times, it'll likely kill them.
Yeah, cool. So I think I'd like to, if you rule this valid, I'd like to spend my determination for perfect opportunity, the bonus d20. That's an automatic crit.
What's a perfect opportunity is what? That's your determination. Your value is perfect opportunity.
Well, perfect opportunity is the name of spending
Sure.
it for
What
bonus
value are
D20.
you tapping to burn your determination?
Bring on the next emergency.
What are your other ones?
Help who you can, where you can.
That one's a little more.
Goodness.
Yeah.
That one applies, I think. So I'll let you burn that one. Yeah.
I want to both save his life and save Rue right now.
Okay.
And the only way to do that is to diffuse the heck out of this.
Okay.
So that would give you a 4th?
And that's assuming I didn't already. Did I have a determination at the start of today, or is it?
Yes.
okay.
Determination resets every game
Making
session.
sure. Making
Yeah.
sure. I'm sorry. What?
Did that... We also burned a momentum, so you got an extra die for 3. Do you want to keep that and keep...
Did we? I'm so sorry. This is taking so long.
No,
for
no,
this
no,
to
it's
roll.
okay.
But
okay.
at one point, does it cost us 1 or 2 momentum? If I'm getting my bonus d20, do we have to pay the price for a 4th die to use to buy that, or have you ruled that we can do our ordinary?
So-
am I making sense?
No.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
get it.
I don't
had-
follow you.
I
She
know
had
what
the
you're
2
asking.
die, and then we burned a momentum to get her 3 die, and now she's using her determination to get a
For the
4th
bonus
die.
D20?
That was automatic crit.
But on an earlier
Is that
play
allowed?
session, we had wondered if we were
So-
required to pay the more expensive cost.
For
So
a fourth
it
die.
scales. It scales if you're burning momentum to purchase the extra d20. If you're using determination, then it doesn't scale like that. Do you see what I'm saying?
okay.
At least for we're gonna go with that.
Correct.
Great.
Okay.
You can spend 1 determination to take a second. Yeah.
So we're still at 4 momentum.
So,
for people.
No, I think we're.
are we gonna...
30.
Do you want that 4th
For the
die
folks
then?
at home, perfect opportunity is a point of determination may be spent to grant the character a single bonus d20. This bonus d20 differs from most in that it's considered to have already rolled a 1 and thus generates 2 successes automatically. The normal limit of additional d20 spot for a task still applies.
Yes.
Okay.
So do you want to roll 3?
Uh,
And already have your determination one done?
I think yeah, so here's my determination. It's a 1.
Okay.
And then I roll
And yes.
3
Now roll your dice.
dice.
Difficulty is 2.
Oh, the difficulty's 2?
Yes.
Okay, well,
all ranged attacks, the difficulty is 2.
I may have over-prepared for
We'll
this
get
one.
more momentum
yeah,
back.
this is-
Yeah, this is good. We'll get momentum back.
Yep.
Remember, you can still roll complications.
No, you
18,
can't.
19, and 20?
No, 17, 18, and 19. No,
that's
I sprint enough threat, so if you roll 17 or higher,
Yeah.
it's a complication.
It's not going to happen. You're great.
Wait, what is it's controlled security? Shit.
Control security.
It's been so long. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
12.
You're good.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Okay. So, what is your security rating?
A 3.
So, what's the damage rating on a phaser? I believe it's.
I don't think I have that on.
Wait, what was
so
it?
sorry, guys.
Nobody has the damage of a phaser,
Because I don't
huh?
have my sheet.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Wait, I
Once
think I
it's
have
okay.
it.
Once I get the GM
Have Sam
screen
text it.
that they've got.
Yeah.
It's too late.
Sam, where are you? Say
I tried
it.
to be so prepared. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Wait, I think I have it somewhere.
Don't sweat it. I believe it's 3. I'm gonna double check that. It could
I
be
think
5
so too.
actually.
It's 3. I just saw it in the book earlier tonight. It's 3. Yeah.
Okay.
We're checking right
But
now.
yeah, we'll check.
I'm gonna, since I'm here, here we go. It's a type 2 phaser, damage is 3. Go ahead and, so now you're gonna take the 3/6, the challenge dice. What is your security rating?
3.
3, so you're gonna roll 6 challenge dice.
All right, may I borrow 2 challenge dice?
May.
Now, I can't have any special effects because there's no charge on my phaser.
That's right.
I
That's
spent
correct.
it heating the chair.
That's correct. You're not gonna be able to activate any of the special abilities that a phaser can
Throw
use.
the melted chair at
But I'm just going to count effects as 1, right? That's
Correct.
Give him the chair.
because, yeah, I do have a super hot chair. I could just fling at the
Yeah.
ground. if
Go ahead and
that's-
make the roll.
That is totally.
Super hot chair.
5.
It's that chair. It's so hot right now.
So
okay.
hot right now.
So, shaking, Throlo, you just kind of point, hoping for the best, aiming. You strike him with the phaser blast. It hits him dead in the chest as he's reeling back to punch Rue. Rue drops to the ground as he goes flinging back against the wall, slams into the bulkhead, and hits the floor, and does not get back up. He lays there on the ground, and you see a small pool of blood starting to form from his mouth and his forehead.
Commander, how do you feel?
Rue stands up and goes, ribs 4 and 5 are broken.
First thing I'm going to do is a blood test on Rue to see if Rue is infected.
Okay, rushing over to Rue, you immediately scan. I won't have you roll. No, Rue is clean.
We
And
need to check out our friend. See what happens.
okay, you're moving over to the friend. As you run over, you're gonna scan him. His eye just flutters open and looks up at you. And you hear him say, "You're killing us.
A Jack?
You are killing us."
Who is us? Are you native to this world? Can you understand me?
Understand.
Hello. I'm Dr. Throla Shishiros, Starfleet Medical.
You see blood congeal on his lips.
If I help you, will you leave this being alone?
Must stop environmental changes.
We will. Can you restore these beings?
No.
Because you're killing us.
Had no choice. Young dying.
What did you just say? Sorry.
Young dying.
I'm sorry. How can we help?
And you watch as the body begins to. And the eye rolls back as life functions begin to cease inside this Klingon. Jacques just dies there on the floor. Not from the phaser wound. Your scans are showing that he had multiple fractures in his neck, and it looks like his circulatory system has been compromised for some time. However, what is different is you watch this gas begin to leak out of his mouth and nose. Just
Past alien.
it doesn't spread. It begins to just sort of like flow upwards out of his mouth, almost like a dark mist.
What? I need to contain it. I need to respond in some way. I need to separate us from it, and I need to scan it.
Okay. What are you doing first?
Right. Ruth, stay over there. There've got to be respirators in this room.
I think I'm good to stay right here.
There have to be respirators in this room.
The condition of the body, if you tried respirator,
For me and
you're
Ruth
just
to
gonna.
not breathe the gas.
Oh, okay. Interestingly enough, as you're backing away to look for respirators, the gas doesn't look like it's dispersing at all. In fact, it looks like it's containing itself and keeping localized. And as it begins to flow up, it sort of curls on itself.
A
And then
gaseous life form.
once the gas is completely cleared and you watch as Ajak's body becomes inert, completely inert, like the body just kind of slumps, like it deflates almost, and you watch as this gas curls in on itself, but it stays where it is. And your tricorder is definitely picking up life sign from it. Not registered
Captain
before.
Martinez, Ensign Vindil, and anyone, there's a native gaseous life form on this planet. It was awakened by the terraforming, and it's been lashing out in self-defense. And that's why everyone's been getting sick, but can you still hear me? I say to the ball of gas.
It doesn't. If it does understand you or hear you, it doesn't seem to react at all. But you do notice that it's not moving, it's not leaving, and it hasn't attacked. It seems like it just holds itself.
We will leave. We did not mean to hurt you.
It stays where it is. You're not sure if you're getting through to it.
I'm also making a lot of promises for a lot of Klingons right now.
Yeah, you are.
We need to get everyone off of this world. Captain Martinez?
A few moments pass. As you guys are sitting there, you hear Captain Martinez on on your intercoms coming through in a general channel.
For everyone?
Yeah, you all hear Throlo
Oh,
coming
us
through
too?
you guys
Oh.
hear Throlo coming through on your communicators.
Okay.
Doctor?
Oh, hello! How are you?
This is Paylor.
And Ensign Sage, we're okay.
Yes, hello, Ensign Sage. You're okay?
Yes.
Lieutenant Paylor, this world, it's inhabited.
Inhabited? How?
There's a gaseous life form. I think it emerged from the ice when you started warming the planet, and you've been harming it unintentionally.
The disease. That's what the disease is?
Yes.
I look like Kaven.
Kevin,
Is that what you meant by it?
some kind of mist came out of the bodies.
It was a mist that came out of some of the bodies?
It emerges as a gaseous form, but its young are being killed by the terraforming process.
We are stranded at the environmental control facility.
Oh.
We've lost power to the ship, or at least the engines to the Orion ship. Is there any communication with your base ship?
Earlier we were able to reach Captain Martinez.
Wait, the Sally Ride is here?
Somewhere nearby. Lieutenant, if we tell the Klingons that they need to evacuate, will they come?
We will make them.
Great. I think the gas may be able to understand me, so I'm glad I can follow through on that one.
Wait,
Cut back to the USS Sally Ride. Did you have something you wanted to add to that?
I was gonna say, did I kill a life form when I scalpeled the frost off of that wire? No!
Clark Sage is a murderer!
Did I kill the young? Like
Change
twice?
your alignment to chaotic evil. Oh, no. Okay,
Alignment
so cut
change,
back
that's
to the
rough.
Sally Ride.
Did we hear any of that, or am I just like on the bridge, just like?
You're on the bridge doing that. It's no joke. It has been a maddening hour
Oh, I hate
of
it.
dead silence.
I'm
and
making the rounds like a Lumberg boss. I'm walking around, everybody checking in with their station, like Ensign Hart.
the
Any plans for this weekend? Or you?
Ensign Hart looks like
holodeck.
she
Everybody's doing the
is.
holodeck. Okay, great.
She, everyone looks a little. The bird of prey has now maneuvered to position herself in front of Sally Ride, about 20,000 kilometers. So she's a good distance away, but not
Still
so far
decloaked.
away. What? No,
Correct,
she's
yeah.
uncloaked. Yeah, and
Right,
she's
right.
still in battle mode. Like her wings are still angled down.
Okay.
She still has charged weapons, and her shields are still up.
I'm going to ask Lieutenant Commander Talon.
Yes, Captain.
Do you think that with this little face-off we've got going, that it would be wise for us to lower our shield as a sign of peace?
Do you want to make a roll for that since you've got
Sure, I
anthropology?
would love to
Yeah.
actually.
Okay.
Yes, because I don't know.
Yeah. Anytime you're not sure about, like, anytime you want to science or like
I
ask
mean, we
a
have a
question
lot
like
of
that.
these. Can I use one of these?
Yeah, sure.
So this would
is
be
like an insight. What is this?
this would be an insight command roll.
Oh, interesting.
Insight into
What is
command.
that?
Yeah.
I've never used command.
Yeah.
But if you're using your anthropology,
Remember
you
Donnie
could argue for
and
science
Ninja Turtles
maybe.
2?
Hey,
Yeah.
yo.
Yes.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
If I'm using my anthropology, could I argue to use science?
No, you can totally use your. You have cultural anthropology, don't you?
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
exoanthropology. Yeah.
Yeah, you can use that.
Okay.
I'll let you use it.
So science.
Uh,
Oh, I see. Never mind.
no, it's gonna
Okay.
stay. Yeah, but I'll let you use that focus.
I really need to work on my command.
That's why I'm
what was
asking
the
you a
other one?
question.
Well, we can make that part of your.
Yeah.
Next time I give you guys a spotlight.
Inside command.
Is the captain assisting then? Because he's asking.
Oh,
and
right.
commanding?
You're asking. Yeah, that is.
Yeah, go ahead.
Unlike Lieutenant Paler, who provides fantastic positive reinforcement
You can do it.
for Starfleet, I'm just like, Talon, I'm waiting for you. I asked you a question.
All right, Talon.
What's
Show me
your,
what you got.
It's like a pop quiz.
what's your
The,
opinion?
the difficulty
so
here
you said-
is 2.
Insight and con. Or,
Insight
sorry,
and command. Yes,
Okay.
and you can apply your focus.
Thank you for that.
Oh, I'm sorry. The difficulty is 1.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Difficulty is 1.
Talon, if a Federation starship is traveling at warp 4, but a Klingon warbird,
Ooh, oh, dang it. Wait, so the focus would
Doesn't
come
matter.
in if it's the number of my command?
Yeah.
Ah, if it was science, man, I would have had 2 crits. But I did have 3 successes, so that's good.
Okay. So the question
So-
was.
Maxed out on momentum, and we got
Eh.
one for the bank.
do you
Great.
think it would be wise to lower our shields as a sign of peace to the decloaked Klingon warbird that's in front of us?
And also, we will have to lower our shields to be able to transport.
Um,
So the answer is
It's a tense standoff.
Talon, every instinct in your Vulcan body says do not lower those shields.
Captain, do not lower those shields.
What makes you say that, Lieutenant Commander?
My insight.
My
What you know about
Vulcan bones.
Klingons is
My Vulcan
what
bones.
you know about Klingons is that good gesture, that noble gesture, would be probably viewed by this captain as a sign of
Weakness.
complete stupidity and weakness.
Yes, they will not respect lowering our shields.
I was afraid of that. That's logical, and that makes sense. Okay, thank you.
Especially because this captain has not stood down from battle stations, which tells you, just from what you know about Klingon culture, she's just looking for a reason.
Seems as if the Klingon captain is waiting for our next move.
Yeah, I got that same feeling. I got that same feeling. How much longer is it until we get our window?
5 minutes.
35-mile window. 5 minutes.
5 minutes
okay.
away.
Okay.
At about that point, you receive a hail from the Klingon captain.
Ensign Hart, main screen.
Shall I put her through? Everyone, Jiv kind of sits down and goes, "Oh, I better sit down for this one." Okay. On the screen again comes the Klingon captain.
Captain Comac.
Captain Martinez. I have been in communication with Klingon High Command. It appears that they are most displeased by you wandering from the corridor. However, you must have friends in the Klingon Empire, Captain.
I can't say that I don't.
Despite the atmosphere between our two peoples, it is appreciated what you are attempting to do.
I'm not here to start an intergalactic incident, and I don't think you are either.
I don't think you're that stupid.
No, neither are you. We're
Very
both of us
well.
very smart.
What do you propose?
I'm waiting to hear back from my team, Captain. I lost communication with them due to interference about an hour ago. In about 5 minutes, I'll be getting their message. What sort of emergency evacuation they might need, any other sort of emergency services that themselves, or the, 330 Klingon colonists that are on the planet as well. Again, I had a vague info dump about them possibly being in danger. Now, have you been in communication with any of the Klingons down on the planet? Is there any sort of incident happening? Can we help in any way, or do you have any information to provide to us?
All I can tell you is that Klingon High Command did not tell us there was a colony on this world.
Really?
But it is in our ship's records.
Well, I guess that doesn't bode well, Captain.
We do not have the facilities to provide an evacuation for 300 Klingons.
We do.
She kind of angles. Do you?
Oh yeah, this is a good ship. It's a very good ship.
Do we have room for 330?
The nearest Klingon station is 18 light years from here.
Okay, if you send over the coordinates, if anything goes down, we will happily evacuate those Klingons and take them over to that station. No matter how off the beaten path it is for us, we're going to go ahead and do that.
Captain. Sidebar?
You can lean in.
Just going to do the mute signal, just real quick. Just mute.
No,
Captain.
only Sage knows the signal. You have to just tell
True,
her.
Heart, Ensign Heart. God, just mute it. One moment, please. One moment, Captain.
And Ensign Hart
starts
amplifies
crying.
everything. Sally Ride broadcast this out.
Captain, I suggest that if we agree to transport the evacuated Klingons 18 light years away from here, we should get their assurance that we will have their protection along the way. As in, we should have at least one Burrell-class escort with us.
I understand. Okay. Captain Comac.
She says, yes.
We are hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. If we do have to evacuate any of the Klingons down on the planet, I hope that you would be able to chaperone us, escort us to the nearest Klingon outpost.
She throws her head back and gives a belly laugh. And when she comes back to the screen, she says, Shaho! And you see, Talon, immediately on your sensors, you look down as a second Burrell bird of prey decloaks port side. Also at station keeping, wings folded down and in battle mode. It's about 10,000 kilometers away. She says, don't worry, Captain. We will escort you back.
It's
And
great to hear.
ensure our safety.
Thank you very much, Captain. It's not really Starfleet regulations, but I am more than pleased to let you know we've got a nice bottle of blood wine on board that I'd be more than willing to treat you and the other captains of these ships as soon as this incident is behind us, or even gift it to you if you'd rather not spend any more time on a Starfleet vessel than you need to. So, thank you, Captain Comac. Appreciate it.
In the background of her bridge, you see one of the officers at one of the weapon stations just turns and looks back at the view screen.
Oh, it's good, too. I see, but it's good stuff, too.
She spits something in Klingon, and the guy immediately, obediently turns back to his station.
We knew where we'd be headed, so we have some blood wine.
I shall begin coordinating.
Thank you. Like I said, send over any of those coordinates. We are hoping for the best, expecting for the worst. We'll be in communication. Thank you again, Captain.
She cuts off, and as the communication dies down, you see about another 15,000 kilometers away on sensors, you watch space begin to distort and wave as that familiar, as a third Burrell bird of prey. It looks like it's actually, this one is not in combat mode, actually. It looks like it's arriving on the scene.
Okay.
But it decloaks as it's coming into the system.
Is it
And
3 or 4
appears-
now? 3?
Now it's 3.
Okay.
Coming into the system. A few minutes pass, and that window opens up.
All right. Open hailing frequencies, Ensign Hart.
Hailing frequencies open.
It's Captain Martinez. Anybody down there? Everybody
You
okay?
all hear
Yeah.
the sweet sound of Captain Martinez's voice.
Oh, good glacier. Captain, we're here.
Ensign Sage, it's good to hear your voice. Are you all right?
Yes, we're fine, thank you.
We have your location. If you need to, we can beam you up.
We do have someone here that is need of immediate medical attention.
It's a Klingon.
You hear that, Throlo.
All right, Captain Martinez, please tell Nurse Matazi to start making up beds right now. We need everyone off of this planet immediately, if we could.
Everyone, what's going on, Doctor?
We thought there was an infectious disease and it behaved like an infectious disease, but it turns out it's actually much more wonderful than that. It's a gaseous life form, which they'd inadvertently been harming with the terraforming process. But if we stop the terraforming process, and now I'm kind of talking to the cloud again, if we stop the terraforming process and get everyone off of the planet, then we think things can return to normal, and they are likely not to do any further damage, but we do need everyone off immediately. If you could just tell Nurse Matazi.
Yeah, I think we recorded that. We'll just play it back. Shiv, can we get all of our operating transporters up and running? We need everybody, all of our people up here first so that we can begin Klingon evacuations. Ensign Hart, if you can hail that Klingon ship so that we can inform them of what it is that's going on so that we can start these evacuation procedures immediately.
Yeah, I can do that. Just so you know, though, Captain, with windows opening and closing, this is going to take a while.
That's fine.
All right.
As long as everything's working as it should, you let us know if... You just keep us abreast of the situation, Shiv.
Shiv is going to make... I'm just going to do this right now because we're kind of... Okay. Shiv says, I'll be down in transporter room. Ren snaps his fingers and Ren goes, okay.
And we're sending everybody straight to a quarantine first, because apparently there's some sort of a talking cloud or something. I didn't quite get everything.
But I
the
also am
doctor
going to
was
set
saying.
like an assembly line process at the bottom edge where I'm simultaneously triaging any medical emergencies and kind of blood testing one by one because I think the gas and I are on the same page, but I can't be 100%.
Doesn't seem to have reacted at all, but you do notice the gas is just sort of spiraled, like it looks like it's
It should be
maneuvering to
spreading
hold
throughout
itself.
the room, and the fact that it isn't is a very
No.
good sign.
And it looks like you were just from looking at it, you can tell that if this is a living thing, if this is a sentient thing that came out of this creature's body, that it is responding in a neutral way right now. And if it can understand, the more you're talking, and the fact that it's lingered there suggests that it might understand what's going on.
If we're gonna start transporting Klingons, we need to let them know.
I was gonna say-
because we are all they're gonna
Yeah.
go crazy.
Yeah.
Here's what we're gonna do. I want to get the doctor, the away team up here. I want to get Sage. I want to get Paylor, and I want to get Kevin up here because we noticed that there was a Klingon signature with Paylor and Sage. And I want that Klingon, as soon as he's fine and A-OK, honky-dory, on the bridge, standing next to me with Dr. Shishiros, with our wonderful new friend, Captain Comac, on the screen so that we can inform her of everything that's happening.
Okay.
They can simultaneously start hailing their Klingon colonists, and we can start doing the same.
Well, you're on an open channel right now, so they can actually hear everything you're saying to your away
Good.
team.
Do that.
Here, okay. Out of character though. Here's what I think. If they see this one Klingon, very weak and gaunt and malnourished and everything, would the other Klingons think of it as this life form as a threat because it attacked one of their to where then they were like, oh, then let's go to war.
The Klingons want to leave. All of the Klingons
All of
want
them
off
do.
of the
Okay,
planet.
but that makes it easy. Never mind. I didn't know that part.
Yeah, the colonists have been wanting off this world for a while.
I didn't know
but
all
the
of them
Empire
wanted
has
off.
not
I
been
just thought it was
listening
that
to
one group. That's
Yeah.
good.
It would
Never
not be
mind.
honorable for them to die on an ice world. Not
They're not
Would
warrior
I know-
casts, but it would certainly not be the way a Klingon wants to die. No.
What do they want me to do with the bodies, and is that a thing that I am likely to know?
You could answer that.
Yeah,
They don't.
We haven't really been doing anything. We've been collecting them. We tried incinerating them. They didn't like that, and so I think just
because you're a specialist in Klingon culture, Klingons could give two shits
Yeah,
about
just
the body.
leaving
I know
them
that
should
out
be
of
fine.
character. I just
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Once a
I-
ritual to send it to the Black Fleet
What
is
would
done,
the
and that's
gas
usually only
want?
for the warrior
Would the
cast.
gas want the bodies there?
It seems like this gas is able to inhabit bodies, so we might be leaving it some new cars, some new vehicles.
Oh my god.
Did you get that, Captain Comac? The
Kevin?
Klingon bodies on the planet are now cars
Kevin-
for the gaseous life
gas
form.
has a new
Kevin,
hobby to
when
putting
you
up
say
puppet
that,
shows
Kevin
for
just
each
goes.
other.
I'm hilarious. Save your strength.
Y'all are cute.
Why travel with the speed of the atmosphere when you can slowly inhabit a gross biological form and slowly trudge from one location to the next? It's just more efficient that way.
It's like Avatar.
Yeah. Anyway.
Bloodbending.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, moving
All right.
on.
So what are you doing?
Get me out of here.
Well,
All that.
Everything
Assembly,
all that-
blood test, evacuation.
Okay.
great.
All right. So then we're gonna do epilogue.
And then I'm fixing those ribs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Oh, like they're gonna come to sick bay.
So you managed
They
to
already admitted they
quarantine.
were
You quarantine the sick bay, and you beam Kaven back up along with the rest of the crew. Everyone shows up. Rue is in a state of being beaten upon, but isn't showing it because that's Rue. Rue even manages to stand up straight, which you can only imagine it causes some excruciating pain, but does it anyway because there are officers watching, and they're a commanding officer. But when you give them a hypospray for the pain, you notice a significant, about as much of appreciation as you're going to get from Rue as they're sitting there. But sure enough, all of these colonists desperately want off of this. Inek is the supervisor of the colony, gives his personal thanks to you, Captain. What ends up happening here is it takes about 4 days of shuttling back and forth. It's adding on to the length of your trip, and it's slightly fraught with some resistance from the Klingon station because you're a Federation ship, and the Klingons aren't too happy with Federation right now. But Comac speaks for you, and it looks like the station does what the hell she says. So, after about a little over half a week, you guys managed to evacuate this colony. That gaseous life form vanished shortly after the conversation and never reappeared. But the colony is entered into the record as a quarantined planet from this moment forward.
Was the frost on the wires a living thing? Did I kill one of their
Cut to
young?
Sage, just like cold sweats. I'm a murderer.
Yeah, like the minute you said it, because it
Honestly,
missed it.
I don't think there's any way we could ever know.
Well, I
What's
mean,
up?
It didn't die. It went away.
No, that's not how like that
well, like
works.
by, yeah,
If
melting
it's gaseous.
we brought the, I don't know. Maybe you just
You're on the right
put
track.
It in it was in stasis because if you melted the frost, it's just like it was in the blood where the dead bodies just laid there, but it was still in there, just kind of in stasis. So once once it gets back to a temperature that's low enough for it, I think it will come back alive.
It was a gas.
So what's likely that happened is
Yeah,
the
just
interaction with the
change
electrical
states.
equipment. This gas probably formed into a bunch of ice crystals after after an unforetold reaction to coming across some of the electrical powers.
So I
In
didn't
fact,
kill it.
No, you didn't
Okay.
kill it. You actually
That's
set
all I
it
wanted
free.
to know.
And what you also were going to
I set it free.
what you also learned
So you
is
listened to
that
him
the
and not
blackout of power happened because you flew through a cloud of these things.
Oh.
And that, in fact, the upper atmosphere, which is a torrent of hurricane-level winds, is actually...
It's them.
It's them. So what you discover as you are shuttling back and forth, Talon, you constantly just eating up these science readings.
Sciencing.
It's difficult, even with the Sally Ride's deflector dish and full sensor suite at full power, even the secondary deflector that you have going maxed out, trying to channel power in and read as much as you can. Because using the deflector, you're actually able to get a map using a particle spread and a sensor sweep to get an idea of how many of these life forms might be on this planet. And you're counting, there might be upward to trillions of individual gaseous life forms in the atmosphere of this planet. You also learn that a lot of the ice that forms at the bottom of the planet is their gestation period. And so that a lot of the ice that you're walking across is actually a solidified version of some of these life forms.
Wow.
Walking across probably didn't hurt it. Crashing the shuttle probably didn't hurt it.
Or my
melting
helmet.
it prematurely like the atmosphere was doing was probably hurting it. And
As long as I didn't kill anything, like that
No.
would really. I think that would really f up Lark's
No.
head. Like, oh
you
no.
also learn
Okay.
that Kaven had been dead for some time. Or not Kaven, I'm sorry. That is the best best mistake I've ever made. I can't wait to go back and watch that. I can't go back.
We all just went.
I'm
we were
sorry.
like,
I meant Kevin.
Warm bodies.
No, you meant a jock.
No, I'm sorry. I meant Kevin.
A jock.
No, I'm sorry.
A
I'm just seeing if I
jock.
can do it again.
Don't.
Sorry, a jock. Yes.
Oh
of
my
course.
god,
A jock had been dead for some time. Rue was essentially fighting a corpse, which is probably why he was able to withstand so much punishment before going down. Yeah.
I'm okay.
I'm not.
Sally Ride finishes her last departure of the last. You were able to shuttle back 60 of the remaining colonists. You're on this Klingon station, docked with an armed escort of warriors. Klingon stations look a little different than Federation stations. They're darker. There's a lot less light. Klingon don't like a lot of light. Lots of shadows being cast over. Lots of echoes. Again, the place looks crude but incredibly efficient and functional. And Klingons offloading from Brel Bird of Prey that have also docked here. As the last bit of Klingons are departing, the final colonists to step off the ship and the final colonist to be evacuated is a neck who refused to leave until every single man, woman, and child was off and other. But when they step off, Anek turns. This Klingon is positively ancient. He turns and looks at you, Captain, and says, I grew up in a time where you and I would have killed each other upon sight. He extends his hand to you. Travel easy, Captain. Good journey to you. Thank you for saving my people.
Thank you.
It's a shame there's none of that blood wine left.
There might be some.
No, don't tempt me. Don't tempt me.
Okay. All right.
And he shuffles off. As he leaves,
Okay, seemed cool.
Kevin stops too and turns as he's also walking off. He stops in the corridor and looks back at you. He's looking a lot better. He's still his body weight has still significantly decreased from when you first saw it the last time you had seen him. But he's up walking, moving around. He's energetic. He's obviously regenerating. Klingons have redundant organs all over their bodies. They are hardy folk. He probably lived through something that would have killed 3 other humans. He stops and looks back at you and says, What happens now?
We knew this day would come. I know that it would be asking a lot, and it's not with a light heart that I ask this of you, but I want you to stay. I want you to come with me. I've shared in your world and in your culture. I want to show you mine.
He looks kind of over his shoulder, and you see standing a few feet away is a neck, who has stopped and is just watching. And he turns back and says, I don't know. I want that too. But we're all so scattered now. The colony failed. We won't have any other place to go. Most of our engineers died. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should leave them, but I don't want to leave you.
Listen.
Why can't you stay?
I think that we can do good together for the Federation and for the Empire. We can show that this works. We need the environment to be able to do that. If we're taking care of another colony, we're just going back to our lives. It's busy work. They are fine. They're farmers. They're agriculturists. They can take care of themselves wherever they're placed. But we are a symbol now, and we can make real change. And I love you.
You see, that catches him a little surprised. I did not know. I should have known. I am stupid for not knowing that. He looks back over his shoulder again, and Anek just goes... and he turns and leans heavy against the cane and starts to walk away. And Kaven looks back at you and says, let's go before I change my mind.
We're gonna be amazing.
I am frightened, but I am brave. I love you as well, Tristan.
I know.
Good. I'm so terrible at saying things like that. You'll have to help me.
I'm here every step of the way. And I'll take his hand. Bring
He
him
takes
back.
yours.
Captain.
Oh, was I was here the whole time?
Were we all there?
I don't know.
Oh, I didn't see all of that. Yeah, Lieutenant.
Permission to come aboard?
Granted as fuck.
As those two move back down the corridor towards the entryway to the Sally Ride,
Get out of here, you skins.
you hear the heavy thudding
Start
sounds.
skipping.
You're watching them walk away, and you turn and you look up at a female Klingon captain who says, "I will be personally escorting the Sally Ride back to the corridor."
Fantastic.
That's all she says to you.
Great.
She moves past you. She pauses as she's walking towards the transporter pad, and she turns and says, "What you did for the colony, there are some of us in the Empire that regret we are no longer friends with the Federation. So, I will give you this warning. There are also some Klingons who have been dying to test themselves against the Federation and will find a reason to do so."
Believe it or not, Captain, probably some members of the Federation who've been feeling the same.
You see this grin come to her face and says, "Then perhaps there is hope for our friendship again."
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
You're like looping through the Klingon logic and like,
Yeah.
all right, yeah, okay, I think I see where you're going with that.
Thank you
Tell
for
her
the
about our
warning.
very impressive security officer.
For the warning, Captain, I had an exo who wanted to make sure to meet you before we parted ways. Can we set up some sort of a
Dinner.
sort of a social event, a wine sharing, going away
Feast.
Feast? Thank you.
It's a date.
Commander.
It's a date. Hashtag it's a date.
Right before we leave this sector and we head back to our designated. Would that be all right?
I am a captain of the Imperial Klingon Navy. I have duties.
So do I. But it's really good blood wine. Really good. Okay, great. I will meet you out there on the outskirts. Lead the way.
She turns and walks towards the transporter pad. The Sally Ride disembarks from the Klingon station, which is little more than a listening post and supply depot. But there are transports that have arrived to take care of the colonists and ship them off to where they're needing to go. Moments later, the Sally Ride's nacelles angle up, and she jumps to warp, headed back to the safety of the travel corridor, straight towards the Shackleton Expanse. Captain, as your duty shift is coming to an end that day, you receive a transmission from Starfleet Command.
What kind of transmission?
It looks like it's Priority 1.
All right, I'll take it in my ready room.
Okay, walking into your ready room.
Beep.
Popping up on the screen, you see an admiral you've never seen before. Looks
Just put
the
this back
pencil down.
Yeah.
Vice Admiral, but you do recognize him as the name and rank come across the bottom of the screen to let you know who you're talking to. Vice Admiral Anderson. He is a man, looks like he's probably in about his 60s, gray hair, very warm-looking face, couple of scars, and a thin, short gray beard. He says, Captain Martinez.
Vice Admiral, how may I be of assistance?
It's been my unhappy duty to reach out to all of our Federation starships across the sector and let them know some of the updates that have taken place, especially those who are outside of range. The Klingon Empire has informed us of your rescue operation that took place about 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Well done, Captain. My commendations to the crew of the USS Sally Ride.
Thank you, Vice Admiral. Hopefully it helped to strengthen any relations with the Klingon Empire.
It did not. I'll keep this brief because I only have a small window in which to talk to you. The Klingons are permitting me to reach out through communications. Essentially, you are under orders to continue to the Shackleton Expanse, simply because you are farther along the journey to the Shackleton Expanse than you are back. Otherwise, I'd order the Sally Ride to turn around immediately and head back to Federation space.
They want me out of Klingon space as soon as possible. What's going on, Vice Admiral?
Chancellor Galron has declared that he wishes the return of certain Klingon territories unequivocally given back to the Klingon Empire within a certain time frame. The Federation has said no. And so Chancellor Galron is giving us a timetable. If we do not withdraw our people from the territories in which he is speaking about, he has guaranteed he will launch an invasion to Federation space. The day we feared has arrived, Captain. The Klingon Empire has turned its sights on us, and Galron seems pretty dead set on sparking a war. Our diplomats are desperately trying to reach out to him, but to no avail at the moment. Meanwhile, the situation with Cardassia has gone worse, and things with the Dominion have been eerily quiet.
Okay.
If war happens, Captain, there will be no safety corridor in Klingon space.
I understand.
Get the Sally Ride as fast as you can into the Shackleton Expanse. And from there, don't ever let your guard down. You will be cut off from Federation territory. We will not be able to help you. There are 7 starships currently stationed on that side of the Klingon Empire. That's all you're going to have. The Klingons don't have any reason to come towards Narendra Station. But they also won't have anything holding them back either. I'm sorry to give you this news, Captain. I am.
It's all right, Vice Admiral. I have faith that diplomacy will win out, but just based on your own experience, what you're dealing with right now, Vice Admiral Anderson, do you think that we're going to go to war?
Yes, I do. I think Galron's been looking for this opportunity. I think he is just interested in returning to the Klingons' old ways. It's incredibly unreasonable to suspect that we would withdraw from those territories, and the channel just dies. It cuts off. It says in transmission.
Vice Admiral. All right.
Leaning back in the chair to a quiet, ready room and an uncertain path in front of you. That's where we end tonight's game. Well done, everybody.
Yay.
Rad. Thank you for coming back, Xander.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And you got your boyfriend to stay on the ship.
Yay.
Well done. Nicely done.
And you
has not been dead for some
I don't
time.
know if anyone else has cried on this show, but I have not. That was my first cry.
Yeah, I think we were all in tears. I think
my God.
Amy and I.
So
I could just feel
emotional, we
as
made
were both,
Vulcans
we
cry.
Just, every
Yay.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
So we went a little over tonight, but we had to because we had a visitor, and that was fun. But catch us here next Wednesday night. Or Wednesday. I'm still on the old schedule.
Yeah.
I'm still burned into the old Wednesday. Monday night. Catch us here for next Monday. And we will see you guys there at 7 p.m. You looked like you wanted to say something? No?
I was just going to reward myself from threat since you kept saying Wednesday.
Yeah. So,
Watch Sagas of Sundry.
yeah.
This
Watch Sagas
Thursday.
of Sundry. It's gonna, what time does it come out?
Thursday. I don't know what time.
This Thursday?
This Thursday.
Oh my
on
God.
Alpha.
On Alpha. Do we have a 30-day free trial set up on Alpha?
Yep.
Standard 30-day free trial. Yeah, check it out. It's a good chance to just check out Sagas of Sundry. If you haven't seen Dread yet, definitely check that out. And Madness is coming out this Thursday.
It's gonna be so good.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Thanks for sticking in there. We will see you next Monday night at 7 p.m. Until then, hailing frequencies are closed. Thanks for tuning in to Shield of Tomorrow. If you enjoyed this, be sure to like and subscribe for more videos. We'll be here every week with the ongoing adventures of the USS Sally Ride. New episodes air on Geek and Sundry Twitch and Alpha every Friday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you'd like to see more, you can start your free 30-day trial on projectalpha.com.